WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Sam Bourquin Show here on AM 1310 WDPN as we come to you live, hello there, from the beautiful Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium here, and we are live with the program. We'll be with you until 6 o'clock tonight, and then over on Q92 at 6:30 or so, we will have the pregame for the Canton-McKinley Bulldogs and the Warren Harding Raiders. That'll be coming up tonight. You can join myself and Brian Beatty and Ryan Bevere. We'll have the call on Q92 and, of course, Q92radiosports.com and the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. But for now, 1310 WDPN duties call, and we'll be with you until 6 o'clock tonight. Ryan Rainsberg is back in the studio. Good afternoon, partner.
Hello, Sam. How are you today?
Good. Sound good today coming through here. I thought we had a good setup at Sandy Valley last night. This really sounds good today. This is nice. I might have changed my mind. Here's what I was going to do the rest of the year. I think we'll alternate Fridays. One Friday I'll do the show from Sandy Valley, and the other Friday I'll come over here to Benson, and we'll have the greatest internet, the greatest Wi-Fi of all time, and we'll take advantage of that. How does that sound? Pretty good?
Sounds okay. I mean, it's more your problem than mine. I'm here no matter what, so.
Yeah, I'd be more than willing to do that. Looking out here high atop Tom Benson, the McKinley Marching Band is here. Now, they don't have their uniforms on or anything, but they're semi sort of kind of setting up. They got their percussion section down to the end zone to the left by the Constellation Center. And they've got the brass instruments. They get the tubas, the horns, the French horns, the flutes, all that stuff. There were some of the kids are on the other side of the stadium, and over here at the on the sideline where the McKinley football team will be later on tonight, they've got some stuff set up. So looks like they're getting ready for what could be a pretty fun halftime show here tonight. So if you're coming out to see the Bulldogs and Warren Harding tonight, you'll have some pretty cool entertainment coming up here at halftime. Boy, looking out here, it is absolutely beautiful. A little humid today, a little more muggy than it was yesterday, but some bright white puffy clouds, lots of blue skies. I look over 77 north and south here. What a view you can see. I'll tell you what, you really get an appreciation for the progress that's being made with the water park, the new Key Bank Center, all the activity going on with the village. You can really, like, I can pretty much tell you, okay, they're about 30% done with this project. They're about 45% done with this, because you really get a bird's eye view of what is going on. And if you look, again, I'm up here in the press box. We're on the 7th level, so yeah, we're up here pretty good. And we face the stadium with 77 to our right, the big scoreboard to the left, the Center for Excellence, and then you go on back a little bit, then you've got the village with the brew kettle and all those places. But if you go back a little further, you can see a lot of the slides and a lot of the water park equipment, and they're starting to kind of move all that stuff around and move it over a little closer to the park. I know if you're coming down 77 South and if you kind of peek over while you're driving, and be careful when you do that, you can see some of the water park rides and tubes already kind of entrenched within the water park building, if you will. So they are making some really nice progress here, and we've been saying this for quite a long time, obviously, but can't wait to see what this looks like when it all gets said and done. And it's going to be cool. It's again, when you're up here, you can see just about everything that's going on, and you can tell that the amount of progress has been made even since I was here last year. I was here covering the Hall of Fame game, the enshrinement, and you can really tell that things are things are starting to pick up a little bit here around the Hall of Fame, the Village, Tom Benson Stadium, and things are starting to look ship-shape. Phone lines are open if you want to pop in here today, 330-821-1310. That's 330-821-1310. You can always text the show, and you can always interact with us on the Q92 radio YouTube channel. We got the chat open for you today, so make sure you get in and interact with us here on the program until 6 o'clock. My buddy, our football guru, Drew Sarakman, I think is going to pop on over today at some point. We had Drew on yesterday. He was down in Florida. He's back in Ohio now, and we'll kind of recap maybe a couple of the games that happened last night. Obviously, Sandy Valley kind of had a tough night against Fairless. The Falcons go to 1-0. Jackson had a good feeling about Jackson yesterday, and they handled their business. They went up to Chardon, and they won by a couple of touchdowns. Archbishop Hoban played West Orange out of Florida last night. Hoban had them and then let them get away, and West Orange won that game 28-24. And then there was a wild game up at Cleveland Brown Stadium last night with Avon and Cleveland St. Ignatius. And it was pretty much a walk-off 2-point conversion. Avon scored a touchdown with 12 seconds left to go in the game. They got the 2-point conversion, and that was it. They beat St. Ignatius 22-21. So a couple things I learned about that game. I don't want to go too deep into it, but St. Ignatius much, much, much improved. Much improved than they have been the last couple years. Avon, I'm not saying I think they might be down just a little, but they're still really, really good. And they're probably going to be a team that's going to get a whole lot better by weeks 5, week 6, week 7, and so on. So Coach Elder does such a great job. And that was a heck of a game last night. I know the highlights were fascinating. And so Avon with a big win last night. Lots of games going on tonight. We'll preview those as well. Don't forget, here tonight McKinley's band looks like it's a little bigger this year. So that's kind of cool as they're kind of going up and down the field right now. We got a lot of games tonight. 1310 WDPN Christian's going to have the call on Northwest and Alliance over at Smilik Stadium in Northwest. I will be here for Canton McKinley Warren Harding on Q92 with Brian and Ryan. And we got a ton of other ball games tonight. We'll be running down that schedule for you throughout the night. The schedule right now tonight. I'm going to run down all the schedule, not just the games that we're doing, but I'm going to run down all the schedule for you right now. Warren Harding at McKinley, we'll have it on Q. Central Catholic Perry, that'll be on one of our extremes. Also Dover Glen Oak, Buchtel Hoover, North Ridgeville Lake, Glenville Maslin, all on Q92 Radio Sports tonight. Other ball games. New Philadelphia will be at Louisville. Boy, the Leopards are beat up. Man, alive, I feel bad for them. Let's see here. Indian Valley will be at Green. Canton South is at Garaway tonight. Rocky River at Manchester. That should be a pretty good game. Smithville Tuslaw. We'll see if the Mustangs can continue their rise. Warrensville Heights at Marlington. The Dukes. I did the Marlington-Warrensville game last year, and Dukes got a win. And hopefully they can keep that going tonight. Minerva at home against United Local. Best of luck to the Lions and Coach Slates. Carrollton will be at East Liverpool. West Branch at St. Clairsville. See if the Warriors can keep it going. East Canton, Chippewa, Strasburg, St. Thomas, Trinity, Malvern, Waynedale at Tusky Valley. That's kind of like the games in our area tonight. But we got you covered here on 1310 WDPN and, of course, Q92 Sports Network. And I have to tell you, last night we got our first look at Q92radiosports.com. Totally revamped website. And I didn't get a chance to really get immersed in it because I was busy doing a game last night. But if you had a chance to look at Q92radiosports.com, folks, we have taken coverage of high school football to the next level. And I'm not just saying that to say it. I'm saying it because I mean it. And you want to get into this. You want to be a part of this. If you're not going to be at games this year, if you can't make them, Q92radiosports.com. Just click the game that you want. And then click Gamecast. You will have access to rosters for both teams. You will have access to game time stats. You will have access to the scoring drives. You will have access to the time, where the ball is on the field, the updated scores as they happen, and a whole lot more. We just kind of started. Last night was like a guinea pig run we did for the Sandy Valley game last night and the Jackson Chardon game last night. And if there were any bugs, man, didn't notice them. And I think tonight we're going to be ready to rock. We got 7 games for you. Obviously, you can listen terrestrially here at 1310 WDPN, our sister station, 92.5 Q92. We got the YouTube rolling. We're going to be on Facebook. Go to Q92radiosports.com. You will be amazed at what you can find and how you can follow. Because while you're getting all this information with the rosters and the stats and everything, you're going to get the live play-by-play too. Okay, you're going to get the audio play-by-play. And I think it's fantastic. I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to look at it because I'll be doing the games. But I'll tell you what, do yourself a favor, Q92radiosports.com, and take a look at that. I think you're going to be like, wow. And we encourage you to tell your friends and your relatives, your sports fans, your colleagues, anybody that wants to get immersed in high school football and the great coverage we have. Make sure you tell them about that. But that was exciting last night.
I got to check it out last night while I was doing the game, and it's pretty cool. You go to the game you want to watch. It has our stream embedded into the website, so you can watch the stream on the website. Mm-hmm. And then right below it, it's got a little football field, so it can show you where the ball is as the game goes. Tells you the score. Has a live feed for each thing that happens. Like anytime Berea got an interception last night, or Sandy Valley got an interception, it would say Bearless interception. Mm-hmm. It was pretty cool. We even had one of the game scores on there that we weren't ourselves calling on 1310 or Q92. So it grabs scores from around the area and brings those up for you too.
Yeah, and just think about like a night like tonight. Okay, we're going to be covering, boy, this guy's a ninja. Snuck up in this press box, and I didn't even know he was coming. Of course, I haven't checked my phone in a half hour. Drew's going to be joining us here. Probably hold Drew till we'll probably get him on here about 3:35 because we got to take a break. Anyhow, back to last night. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to really dive into it, but think about a night like tonight. We got 7 games. We got one on 1310. We got one on Q92. 5 more on Q92 Sports Network, and you can go to the website Q92radiosports.com and get game time stats. You can get rosters, access to everything, and it's free. Okay. And, man, I'll tell you what, I said this last night during the broadcast. I said, if I wasn't doing a game, I'd be home. I'd be on the computer, my phone, or my smart TV. Click, 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 click. And I'd be checking out all these games with all the stats and all the stuff. So that's cool. I'm glad to hear. I know I've got some positive reviews already today. A couple of people I talked to that listened to the Sandy game last night. A couple of people that listened to the Jackson Chardon game last night. Some comments that were on social media. And, I think it was really cool, especially the first night. You thought, there might be some bugs or whatever, but it was really cool. And we're proud to kind of unveil that for you this year. I know no other station is doing that anywhere, so we're excited. We're proud about that, and yeah, that was pretty good stuff.
We know for a fact we're the only station because we're the guinea pig on this bad boy.
right. Yeah, nobody else is because we're the only one that stepped in there last night to try to be the guinea pig, so to speak. And I'll tell you what, I think we came out with flying colors there. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to step away here. It is 3:22 here on the Sam Bourquin Show, AM 1310 WDPN, presented by our good friends at AWP Safety. This is the Sam Bourquin Show presented by AWP Safety all high school football season long. And as I've been mentioning throughout the last several months, AWP Safety is hiring, and they want you, okay? They can make a difference for them. You can make a difference for them, and they will put you in a great position to advance. You will get great training, and you can kind of carve out maybe a new path in life that maybe you do maybe you didn't even know existed. Great people to work for, a great company. And I think if you take advantage of that and kind of get going there a little bit, you're going to be on the right track. Jobs at awpsafety.com. Just click it. Get all the information. Jobs at awpsafety.com. And they'll make it happen. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back with more of the Sam Bourquin Show, 1310 WDPN, live from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Stay with us, everybody.
AWP Safety, North America's leading traffic safety company, is hiring traffic control flaggers, and they need you. Join AWP as a protector for steady work and an important job keeping people safe. They offer paid training, certification, referral bonuses, and advancement opportunities. To apply, visit jobs.awpsafety.com. That's jobs.awpsafety.com.
This place has a pulse. You hear it in the canopy, feel it in the ground. Life, fully illuminated, engulfs you. From the birds singing in the treetops above to the tiniest insects in the soil below, you take a deep, cleansing breath, filling your lungs with the essence of the forest. Now, imagine it's all gone. Healthy, life-giving forests reduced to nothing. No singing birds, no lush canopy, and water and food in short supply around the world. Time is running out to protect our forests, and without our love, they can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our forests. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other, leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, Teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, live here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. We got about 3 minutes before we get to the bottom of the hour news and weather. Drew Sarakman is going to join me coming up at 3:35 today. He's already here. You can see Drew. We'll let him hang out, chill a little bit. And he's got his Maslin gear on. I mean, his McKinley gear on right now. He'll be coming up. He just got back from Florida. And we'll go break down the games that happened last night, look ahead to tonight, and what we think and what we saw. 330-821-1310 is our telephone number. That's 330-821-1310. Don't forget, you can get in right now on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Scooter's in. The refill for the air horn has arrived and will be with me this evening. Folks, I tell you what, I love noisemakers at stadiums. I do. I'm that guy. I like when people bring the milk jugs and put pennies in them. I love the air horns. I love everything about it. The more noise, the better. So if you can sneak those into the stadiums you're going to tonight, let it rip. Let's get the great atmosphere for the kids and all the fans and everybody involved, and let's do it. Good job, Scooter. Get that air horn and fire it up, all right? Yeah, McKinley looks like they added – I'd say their band looks like there's about another 20 to 25 kids in it right now, which is good. I know I tend to say, well, I remember back in well, I'll do it again. I remember back when McKinley had about 230, 240 kids in the band, and it was awesome, man. They'd come down that big hill at Fawcett Stadium. They'd come through the goalpost, and it was it was something to see. But it looks like their band's definitely a little bigger this year. Also, get in on our Fill in the Blank Friday. Our Fill in the Blank Friday today is when the Cleveland Cavaliers signed James Harden to a 3-year, $97 million yesterday. That was blank. That was blank. How do you feel? How did you feel about that? That broke yesterday, right before we came on the show, and we didn't get a whole lot of chance to talk about it because we were pretty football heavy, and we're going to be pretty football heavy today. But the Cavs signing James Harden, 3 years, $97 million. That was blank. Try to keep it clean. All right, we'll read those comments here as we move along. News coming up here in less than a minute. Drew Sarakman coming up, 3:35. Brian Beatty's going to be joining me here in the booth around 5:30 or so. Get ready for high school football, week 1 officially. Last night we had a handful of games throughout the state of Ohio. We mentioned the Sandy Valley Fairless game we carried on Q. We had Jackson and Chardon last night. Hoban West Orange was a phenomenal game last night. Knights just come up a little short. A walk-off 2-point conversion last night. Avon beats Iggy 22-21. Moeller and Princeton battle at Paycor Stadium last night. So there was a lot of good action going last night as far as the high school football is concerned. Guardians are in Colorado this weekend to take on the Rockies Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll be scoreboard watching with them and the Twins and the White Sox and the Rangers and the Yankees, and we'll be getting into all that. Browns preseason game tomorrow at 1 against the Bills. From what I understand, Cleveland just got beat up yesterday by Buffalo in that joint practice. We'll talk a little bit about that. We'll hear from Todd Monken in just a little bit. Right now, we got the news and weather coming up. It's the Sam Bourquin Show presented by AWP Safety on 1310.
The latest news and the current Alliance area weather forecast are up next on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 3:30. 2 U.S. Army Corps of Engineers employees among 8 people killed in a small plane crash in western Alaska. Plane chartered by the agency crashed Thursday near the Cape Newenham Long-Range Radar Site Airport, where it was scheduled to land. 2 pilots and 6 passengers were aboard the plane. NTSB investigators were traveling to the scene. The FAA says the twin-engine Cessna took off from Ted Stevens Anchorage International Airport. Texas court has reduced a $50 million judgment against InfoWars founder Alex Jones to $1.5 million over falsely calling the 2012 Newtown school shooting a hoax. The ruling does not affect a $1.4 billion judgment against Jones in Connecticut, but is a significant legal victory for Jones and his company Free Speech Systems. Jones had been found liable for damages for claiming the shooting did not happen. North Korea launched about 10 short-range ballistic missiles toward the Sea of Japan as the U.S. and South Korea conducted annual military exercises. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff said the missiles each flew about 180 miles toward North Korea's eastern waters. President Trump last week directed the Department of War to shorten joint military exercises with South Korea. The North has consistently condemned the annual joint military exercise on the peninsula, labeling the exercises as provocative. Robert Kennedy Jr.'s son, Connor, has been placed on Russia's most wanted list over allegations he served as a mercenary with the Ukrainian armed forces. Russian state media TASS reported August 12th, 32-year-old Connor Kennedy has been charged with participation of a mercenary in an armed conflict or military action. If detained, he could face 7 to 10 years behind bars. A TASS correspondent said Kennedy's legal team disagreed with the decision and appealed it. It noted the appeals court ultimately decided to uphold the court's decision. Kennedy shared a post in October 2022 on Instagram revealing he participated in combat operations in Ukraine while enlisted with the International Legion. Vice President J.D. Vance said Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has a plan to address the nation's roughly $40 trillion debt. Vance said on Newsmax, though we inherited this debt bomb from the Biden administration, we do have a plan to get the economy growing faster than the debt. That's the most important thing. Bessent told CNBC this week he attributed part of the recent increase to the temporary impact of tariff refunds mandated by the Supreme Court's February ruling. He said U.S. Trade Representative Jamison Greer would implement tariffs at the same level, adding he expects 2026 tariff revenue to be roughly comparable to last year. Besson also argued the $40 trillion figure does not fully capture the nation's fiscal picture because the government itself holds a significant portion of the debt. 79 degrees at 3:33 for WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Meteorologist Mark Johnson has the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Our high today near 80 degrees, can't beat that, with afternoon sunshine galore and blue skies, low humidity as well. Overnight tonight, we've got clear skies all night long, evening temps in the 70s, overnight lows near 60. From the 3 News Weather Center, I'm Mark Johnson.
What band is that, Rainsburg? Don't cheat. Don't look at the computer. What band is that? Must have stumped him. USC. That's the fight on from Southern Cal. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show.
Yeah, I said USC, but I cheated.
I knew you would. That's why I told you don't look. Hey, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Welcome back to the show, 1310 WDPN. We are live here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. McKinley Band continues to practice their routine, if you will. Let me pull Drew in here a little bit. High school football tonight right here on WDPN. Christian's got the call on Alliance in Northwest from Smiley Stadium, pregame 6:30. I'll be here on Q92 with Brian and Ryan. Bulldogs taking on Warren Harding, and our pregame at 6:30, the kickoff at 7. If you're coming out to the games tonight, if you can, please come on out. We've plenty of room here, obviously. Beautiful weather, a lot of really good matchups tonight. And if you're in and about, tune us in, tap in, as they say, or stop on up to the booth and say hello. We'd love to see you. All right, Drew Sarakman has joined me, the guru, the coach. How was Florida?
It was hot.
I would have swore I just talked to you yesterday on the stream, and here you are.
Yeah, it was hot, but I flew out very early this morning, and I got back, and I did some work, and I hear it's an AWP Safety Football Friday.
It is, and it will always be, right? Yeah. Every Friday now throughout the playoffs, and we're hoping we go 16 weeks. That means somebody will be playing here for a state championship, and who knows? You never know. We all think we know what's going to happen at the beginning of the year, and most of the time we're right, but sometimes there are some surprises, and maybe a team or two will get hot and start cooking about week 10, week 11, and if you get hot, then it's a 5 or 6 week sprint, and then we'll see what we've got here. So last night. We kind of figured Fairless over Sandy Valley big. Fairless came out 20-0, and I thought, but then Sandy Valley, monster drive. They go down, make it 20-6, and then Fairless comes right back, and then that was pretty much the game. But Coach Sarbaugh had his guys ready to go last night. I think Torrance Carl at Sandy Valley, it's going to be a little bit of a process. He knows that. People just need to kind of stay patient down there. Wait till they get some bigger classes coming through. They sure got the facilities, man. It looks beautiful down there with the big 3 sports: basketball, football, baseball, softball. It looks outstanding. So hopefully they can get it back on track. But Falcons looked pretty good last night, and for the first game, I thought they had some hiccups. They had some pre-snap stuff, but I think they're going to be pretty good.
Yeah, and I think. They were young at the beginning of last season, and I think the injury bug really slowed down their progress. AJ told me that there was one game last year. I can't remember which one it was. Might have been Northwest. They lost 5 starters.
That's right. It was Northwest
in one game. That's just brutal. That's brutal. That's brutal if you're Maslin or McKinley, right? So a small school like Fairless, it's really tough to work through. But yeah, I think they're going to be really tough. Then the Fairless Manchester game is going to be one to watch later this year.
Yeah, I can't remember where that's. Well, I think it's home. Because remember, Fairless had 5 road games in a row last year.
Yeah.
They didn't play a home game in September.
Yeah.
So I think that game's home. I'll have to relook that up. But the Jackson-Chardon game last night, Some were surprised. I wasn't. I thought Jackson by 7 to 10. And it was tight. It was 13-13 there for a little bit, and then the Polar Bears kind of pulled away. And you had mentioned maybe during our visit, or you texted me that Jackson's defense was going to kind of ring the dinner bell a little bit, and they did that last night for the most part, I thought.
Yeah, they've got a pretty solid box there, right? And that's the type of team, Chardon, that Jackson's really going to, do well against. Chardon's a wing T team.
Yep.
You think Jay Rohr's seen the wing T enough in his between coaching and playing against Perry when he was at Jackson? So I think he was easy, knew how to defend that. And, a team like Chardon doesn't have a ton of speed, right? So they're not going to give Jackson many problems.
Yep.
But, we talked about yesterday the skill players having to step up so Mulliman can connect with them. And it seemed like they did.
Yeah. I mean, again, it appeared, I didn't get to listen to the game, obviously, but it appeared that Jackson got stronger last night in like the fourth quarter. Maybe that's a reflection of Jay, what he's kind of brought to the program. How many years has Jay been the head coach now? 4?
I think this will be his 6th.
His 6th.
I think so.
Wow. Okay. I missed a year somewhere in between.
You got to think. Maybe it is his 5th because Eckerman was a freshman
when he took over.
So
and
this would be his 5th.
Played as a freshman.
Yeah.
Lucas did.
Yeah, so that would be his 5th.
So this would be his 5th.
Because I did his first game on the radio. It was against Akron East at home, and it was a phenomenal game.
Yeah.
Akron East had some studs.
Yeah.
And I remember him getting his first win there.
That was a pretty good little series for a while. And I think this was the first year or maybe the second year they haven't played to open. East was kind of a doormat. And then like the last 8 to 10 years, they kind of were getting some kids and doing a really great job up there in the Akron City series. And they were, it was East and Buchtel there, kind of going back and forth a little bit. I'm drawing a blank of the head coach right now.
Marcus Hayes.
And Marcus is a good dude, man. I really love the way he works with the kids and gets them to believe and play hard. The Jackson East was a good opener, I thought, for both teams the last couple of years. Out of the area last night, you were kind of feeding me some scores on Hoban and West Orange out of Florida. Game was down in Florida, and Hoban had a lead. And it looks like things just kind of got away late. What happened to the Knights down in the Sunshine State last night?
Yeah, so, Hoban obviously losing the Feaster brothers is a hit, right?
Yeah, sure.
They also lost a running back. That was their starting running back last year, moved back to Pennsylvania. So I think Hoban's got some youth out there. And, you think of all the coaches Tim's lost over the last however many years. It's just tough to find coaches. And, people think at a private school, the money's just flowing and, you can get coaches. It's tough to find coaches because it's tough to find jobs for them.
Find the positions for them in the school, yeah.
So I think Hoban is very strong on the offensive and defensive line. I think Izzy Cribbs is going to be really good. He's a really good athlete. But Hoban is very inexperienced at linebacker, at running back, and they've got some good safeties, but they got young corners. And that West Orange team they were playing has a phenomenal quarterback that threw for like 45 touchdowns last year. He's a big Division I recruit, and I think the heat of Florida and just those young guys in the moment, it's tough to win those close games until you win one. Right.
You're right.
So Hoban was up 10 with 10 minutes to go. Yeah. And gave up 2 touchdowns.
What equivalent West Orange, what would they be here in Ohio? DUIs. What do you think?
I think there's probably like 1,000 in the school, something like that.
So that would be 2?
Yeah, probably
1, 2, maybe something like that.
Also
last night, Avon and St. Ignatius played a whopper at Cleveland Brown Stadium, 22-21. I thought Ignatius had them. They did have them. until they didn't. 12 seconds left to go. Avon scores on a little boot pass, and then they come back and they get the 2. They walk it off and get the win. Ignatius, to me, looks a whole lot better than they've been the last couple years. And Avon, we're used to them playing here now for a state championship the last couple of years with Coach Elder doing a great job that he has done with the program. And I thought they might be just a tad down this year, just a little. Mm-hmm. And then I watched Massillon kind of beat them up a little bit in the scrimmage. But boy, they showed me something last night, Avon did with that win.
Yeah, they have some youth also. But when you have a program that consistently goes to the state championship and the state semis, those young kids get all those extra weeks of practice, right?
Yep.
So a sophomore stepping in and playing as a junior, they've got some experience, right? They've practiced a lot. They're pretty good there. But one thing I noticed about Ignatius, number one, I think that they're coaching really hard. Coach Kaufman's staff. I watch those guys. When I see a good coaching staff, whether it's football or basketball, what I like to see is when the kids come off the field, the coaches, you see multiple coaches going and get the kids to talk to them before they get to the sideline. So if you're at a game tonight and you're like, I wonder, what kind of coaching staff we got. Yeah. When those kids come off the sideline, when those coaches are going to meet them, to coach them up, that's a sign that your staff's really working.
They're on it.
But the other thing I noticed about St. Ignatius is this is probably the most diverse St. Ignatius team I've seen in a long time. So I think, they're attracting some talent from across the city, which, is helpful.
Do you think that St. Ignatius was able to get some of the kids that maybe didn't go to Glenville, because Collinwood and Glenville have kind of merged, so to speak. And I know some of the other city schools, the Senate, struggled a little bit, but there was always a handful of kids that you would say, whoa, that's a D1 kind of kid. Maybe did they kind of head toward the St. Ignatius way a little bit? Is Ed still getting some of the city talent in and around Cleveland? What's kind of the deal there right now?
Yeah, no, I think they probably are, right? There's some things they have to figure out from a transportation aspect and tuition and all those things, but it seems like they are.
We are live here at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN. My special guest, Drew Sirackman, with me. There he is, the best press box caretaker in town, ready to roll on opening night. Got his event staff shirt, the Red Sox. He's ready to go. My man. I love coming up here. This may be a tough one for you, but I'm going to ask you anyway. I want to pick your brain about what's going on at Green Street right now. Marcus back in charge. They've done a ton of renovations to the field. They've done a lot of stuff with the stadium. It sounds like the St. V people are rebuying in, maybe reestablishing their faith in the football program. Now, I don't know anything about administration-wise and AD and all that kind of stuff because that all has to come together. But it looks like they might be starting to maybe come on the way back a little bit. What do you see? What do you hear? Even from the old Hoban perspective side that you may still have, are they starting to crank up there a little bit, or is it still going to be a bit?
Yeah, one thing that no one can say about Marcus is that he's not a good football coach. You can't say that. He's a good football coach, right? So I think he's going to do well there. And I think a lot of people have a misconception that Hoban got really good and they took all the players from St. Vincent St. Mary. And I think some of the city kids went there, but I think it's a bigger testament to what Mark Geis has done at Green. A lot of those historic St. Vincent or St. Mary, St. Francis de Sales families that used to go to St. Vincent St. Mary are staying home in the Green School District. And that's, like I said, that's a testament to what Mark Geis has done building that program. Look at the success they've had. Before he got there, I mean, let's face it, Green, 2002, they had a really good team. But since then, they weren't much. And he's keeping his kids home. And that's so important at public high school football.
Yeah, no doubt. Checking out the Q92 Radio YouTube channel in the chat. Mark checking in says, congrats to Mike Elder. Great win over Iggy. Going for too late always seems to be his call. Great Mount alum. Mark, thanks for checking in. Raul checking in. Sam, Hugh Jackson is going to Swim Lake Erie to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the perfect season. Oh, my God. It's been 10 years since they did the Ophir. I guess they did. Oh, my God. That's insane. So I meant to check. I didn't look. Moeller in Princeton last night, they're trying to resurrect that rivalry. That used to be a Week 10. Like the Moeller-Princeton rivalry, it wasn't on par with McKinley-Massillon, but it was there. It was there. And then Moeller kind of started to like dominate. Princeton lost a lot of kids, and they just kind of let things go. Now they're trying to revamp. They played it at Paycor Stadium last night, which probably a little bit of a stretch to play that in a 68,000 seat stadium, but whatever. They wanted the big spotlight. They did the Thursday night game. Moeller was up there late. I got to check and see who won that game.
Princeton.
Did Princeton win?
Monster fourth quarter.
Really?
I think they won by 10.
Whoa.
It was like 38-28, something like that.
Okay, well, that reignites things a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm glad you told me that because the last I had seen, Moeller was up. And wow. Okay. Around the state of Ohio, obviously we've got leagues moving around, teams moving out, teams coming in, leagues being created, leagues completely going away, teams, going from division to division. And obviously the NIL, we've had a lot of transfers. Some schools have really taken advantage of that. Where do you see things going here? We talked about this a little bit yesterday. Where do you think things are going as far as how the OHSAA umbrella, so to speak, can keep a close eye on all that's going on? I think it's almost impossible for them to do that.
Yeah, I think so. So one idea that I had, and my ideas aren't always the best, but I think they are.
Hey, at least you got ideas.
Is you don't want to restrict the right of a kid to receive compensation based on his name, image, and likeness, right? But what you want to do, and I think what they tried to do with the writing of the rule, which I don't believe would hold up in court if someone challenged it, is to discourage people from even taking NIL. But I think the easy fix is the OHSA has the right to say, if you participate in NIL, you go and participate in the NIL division. So your playoff games are with other teams with students receiving NIL.
Okay. Now that's interesting. I hadn't even thought about that.
Because if you think about it, the schools that are going to pay NIL, right, are probably more typically the better teams. I don't think I've seen a situation yet where, like they're doing in the MAC, that everyone's getting NIL on the roster. I think it's select kids, right, at school. So if you want to be about that life, right, go play at a school that's willing to take you to do that or allow you to do that, and then that school's going to have to play in the NIL division.
Interesting. Drew Sarakman, our guest, Q92 Sports football guru, former coach, still gets called upon a lot to ask about certain things and ideas that can help coaches and kids out. And glad to have him along here all season long. On Thursdays, he'll be with us 4:30. Presented by AWP Safety. We're lucky to get him today here on an AWP Safety Football Friday as well. We will take a break. Keep the comments coming in on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Don't forget you can watch and listen live on Facebook, X, and we will be with you until 6 o'clock tonight. Coming up on 7 minutes till the top of the hour, we'll break and come back to Tom Benson. More of the show, 1310 WDPN, presented by AWP Safety.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
High school football brought to you by the Sarshone Auto Group returns to AM 1310 WDPN this Friday night. And we've got a great matchup for you as the Alliance Aviators travel to Canal Fulton to take on the Northwest Indian. Pre-game starts at 6:30 and kickoff is at 7. And you can also listen to the games all season long on the AM 1310 Facebook and X pages, as well as the Q92 YouTube channel. Join Derek Dimmitt and myself, Christian Bigglesworth, as we bring you high school football action all season long. But it kicks off Friday night at 7, Alliance and Northwest, live right here on AM 1310 WDPN.
The opportunity to work for a better life, it's an American dream we all deserve. But 50% of LGBTQ plus people have been harassed, fired, or denied a promotion at work because of who they are. Get the facts at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive. Like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
And Alex.
Hey, Alex, how did the interview go?
I did it. I got the job. I can't believe it.
I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom, I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, presented by AWP Safety Football Friday. Today we're at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. We will have Kent McKinley, Warren Harding tonight, 7 o'clock, pregame at 6:30 over on our sister station Q92 and, of course, the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Had a lot of fun last night with just 2 games. Tonight we've got 7, right? 1 on Q, run here on 1310, and 5 more on the Q92 YouTube channel, Q92 Sports Network, and, of course, Q92radiosports.com. We're everywhere. And we got the great games, got the great crews calling games, and looking forward to bringing you a big, exciting, fun Friday night here as far as Stark County High School football. Drew Sirackman, this guy right here, joining me here in the booth at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. I was talking when I opened the show today, and I always start with it because I'm just like captivated, because up here you get an appreciation for what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
You can see progress at the Village, the water park, the Keybank Center. Lots of dirt being moved, lots of water park materials being shuffled around. Looks like we're making some progress here, right?
Yeah, and I heard a rumor.
Uh-oh, okay.
And I don't, I'm not going to break news because I don't know if it's for sure. But I'm hearing.
This is a rumor.
I'm hearing, and it's not one I'm wild about, but I understand if they're doing it because of technology and other things.
Okay.
I'm hearing that the Gold Jacket Dinner is going to move to the Keybank facility rather than the Civic Center when that's complete.
I would say you are very close with that.
That's my guess.
I would say you're very close. I would not be surprised. Well, I don't think we're breaking anything here. Within the next 3 to 5 years, there will be nothing at the Civic Center. It'll all be here.
It's a tough. It's a big building to maintain. But I will say this. I think one of the most underappreciated things in Stark County is the cultural center side. Their ability to host events. I got married. My wedding reception was there in the Grand Court there with the Pegasus, and the Camp Museum of Art is awesome. They do a lot of good events there too. But it's, if you haven't been there for a while, people need to go down.
It kind of, I don't want to say it gets forgotten about, but you've got the Civic Center here, and people just don't pay attention to the other side.
Yeah.
And it's really
cool.
It's on for sure. We got the news coming up here in about 90 seconds or so. What game kind of intrigued you? Obviously, this one tonight, McKinley Warren Harding, old All-American Conference battle. Again, lots has changed over the decades with both programs, but still fun to see these two helmets go out there and get after each other. Another game or two you're really interested in tonight?
Yeah, I can immediately list them. Alliance Northwest.
Okay.
So many changes on both sides. Unfortunately, I heard Alliance had a senior injury this past week.
Yeah, Brody.
Brody Fast. And so that'll be interesting. And then West Branch and St. Clairsville.
That's down on the river, right?
Yes.
West Branch, get your boots on.
Yep.
Get ready to play hard down there.
Brett McLean, the head coach down there, was the defensive coordinator at St. Thomas when I was in high school.
No kidding.
He was on Tim's staff, yeah.
And now he's down at the
25 years he's been at St. Clairsville.
Wow. That's a tough place to play. Anytime you go down to Steubenville, Toronto, Brilliant,
Martins Ferry,
St. Clair's, you better be ready to. Here you go. You better be ready to play football. You better be ready to beat the officials. You better be ready to beat the fans. You better be ready to beat the people that let you in the gate, because it's everybody against you when you go down there. But I'll tell you what, if you go down there and get a win, you get your butt on that bus and you get out.
Yeah, get your
out.
The cold cheese on your pizza and get out of there.
Get back home before something happens to you. All right, news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. 1 hour in, two more big ones to go. It's an AWP Safety Football Friday edition of the Sam Bourquin Show. Today we're live at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. More to come after the break. 1310 WDPN.
News, weather, sports, local information, and music 24 hours a day. This is AM 1310 WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Mike Dubusky. Closing arguments are set to begin next week in the Lindsay Clancy murder trial. The defense rested today. They'd been arguing Clancy was suffering from postpartum psychosis when she killed her 3 children in 2023. A new order from the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, John Roberts, has allowed construction on the White House ballroom to continue. ABC's Stephen Portnoy has more.
The Chief Justice of the United States putting a stay in place, preventing a preliminary injunction that would have taken effect today from going into effect. It means that construction on the ballroom can continue, and not just the security-related portions, but all of the project.
After living in California for several years, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are moving back to the UK. The family plans to live in a private, non-royal residence near London, according to The Telegraph. It comes after we learned Harry and others will have to pay $13 million to the Daily Mail newspaper after losing an invasion of privacy case. This is ABC News.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. John's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, where he can get a battery for under $100. Lonnie, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge, and Lonnie does that for free too. In no time at all, John is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Clint Marshall on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:02. Two Canton police officers under review after mistakenly detaining a 14-year-old boy in his front porch Monday while searching for suspects in a series of car thefts. A doorbell camera captured the encounter, including officers yelling expletives at the teen. Public Safety Director Andrea Perry says she does not condone the officers' language or actions, calling the interaction unacceptable, saying it does not reflect Canton police standards. Mayor William Shearer also called professionalism and expectation of every city employee. A city spokesman says the incident remains under investigation and officials will await the results before deciding whether any punishment is warranted. The Ohio Supreme Court has upheld the death sentence for a man who killed a woman and her two daughters in North Royalton in 2017. Court ruled Wednesday a Cuyahoga County 3-judge panel properly sentenced 54-year-old George Brinkman to death after he pleaded guilty to killing 45-year-old Suzanne Taylor, 21-year-old Taylor Pfeiffer, and 18-year-old Kylie Pfeiffer. Brinkman had previously been sentenced to death, but the court ordered a new proceeding because he was not properly advised of his rights when he pleaded guilty. In 2022, Brinkman again pleaded guilty and received the death penalty. He's under a sentence imposed in Stark County for the 2017 shootings of Rogel and Roberta John in Lake Township. The North Canton Public Library will undergo renovations. The next several weeks will see much of the library's collection, offices, and operations move into the Hoover District space at 339 East Maple Street while the work is done. It's expected to open in late September. Current location on North Main Street will close August 23rd. $5.5 million in renovation work will be done on the facility, which opened in 1953. An expansion is planned that would add a children's programming room on the first floor. The library's savings, a private foundation, and donors are paying for the project. The victim has been identified in a house fire in East Liverpool early Tuesday. Firefighters were called to the 2000 block of Ohio Avenue around 2 o'clock and learned the occupant was still inside. A two-story home collapsed during the blaze, and an excavator was used to recover the victim. He was identified as 62-year-old James Spencer. State Fire Marshal is investigating. An autopsy is yet to be completed. A Boardman man with a lengthy criminal history back in jail after police say he ran from officers August 9th. Brian Gasier was stopped near Southern Boulevard when police discovered an adult parole authority warrant. Police say Gasier ran but stopped when he heard a canine officer barking. Gasier was released in 2024 after serving 17 years for voluntary manslaughter and other crimes. He now faces an obstruction charge. A Trumbull County grand jury has indicted 3 people for alleged abuse of a functionally impaired woman. 28-year-old Dawn Slusher and 22-year-olds Rosanna Davis and Bryce Davis face charges including abduction, assault, and failure to provide for a functionally impaired person. Slusher also faces a theft charge. Police were told in June the woman feared for her life, was being beaten, and had her money taken. An employee with a disability services organization said the victim had written notes describing what was happening because she believed someone was listening to her. The woman was listed as missing when police received the report. The 3 suspects were arrested July 2nd. They're scheduled for arraignment in Trumbull County Common Pleas Court next month. A man arrested after a Warren police officer-involved incident has been indicted. 18-year-old DeAndre Douglas charged with 2 counts of attempted murder and felonious assault, as well as a weapons count. Case was bound over from juvenile court. The incident took place May 15th after a pursuit through the city. Officers responded to the 1800 block of South Street Southeast for a report of someone waving a gun. Police say the driver refused to stop and the chase ended on Charles Avenue. Someone in the vehicle reportedly fired at officers who returned fire. 1 person was wounded. No officers were injured. Ohio BCI conducted the investigation. A Weathersfield man is facing attempted murder charges in connection with a traffic crash in Niles that injured 3 people. 24-year-old Samuel Sipes was indicted Thursday on counts including attempted aggravated murder, and 3 counts of felonious assault. Police say Sipes fled on foot after the crash just before midnight, June 27th at North Main Street in East Madison. He was arrested July 9th in Geneva. An adult and 2 juveniles in the other vehicle were taken to a hospital. Sipes is being held without bond at the Trumbull County Jail. He's expected to be arraigned Tuesday in Common Pleas Court. The Trumbull County grand jury has declined to indict a Warren woman on a felonious assault charge. Dacia Woodall was accused of firing a shot near a woman during an argument on Commerce Avenue Northwest June 16th. Police say the women had been in a relationship and were breaking up when the argument turned physical. The victim told officers Woodall fired a shot toward her in a parking lot with a bullet striking the ground nearby. Officers found a spent shell casing at the scene. Domestic violence and aggravated menacing charges have been sent to Warren Municipal Court. 79 degrees at 4:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast from Mark Johnson on AM 1310 WDPN.
All right, 80 degrees sounds good for the high this afternoon. We've got a lot of bright sunshine and low humidity, couple of clouds here and there. Overnight, it's clear and starry all night long. Evening temps for high school football in the 70s. Overnight lows near 60. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball.
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
All Friday. Sam Bourquin here. Drew is kind enough to stay with us here up in the booth for a little bit. Drew Sarakman, our football guru. We have him on every Thursday, presented by AWP Safety. He's going to hang out with us here and talk a little football. I want to get some national stuff to you quick, check a little scoreboard. Klay Thompson is going to be bought out by the Dallas Mavericks, I see here, and he's going to sign a 1-year deal with the Miami Heat.
Better than the Sixers.
So that's interesting. Guardians are going to be in Colorado this weekend to take on the Rockies. Tonight, 8:40 first pitch, and Joey Cantillo, boy, he makes me nervous sometimes. Joey Cantillo is going to be on the mound tonight for Cleveland. Gordon for the Rockies, 10.5 the total over under. Guards minus 155 on the money line. Now, as we continue to move here toward the end of the Major League Baseball season, we scoreboard watch, right? We need to know what these other teams are doing. So as far as the wild card and different things are concerned, Yankees, Blue Jays tonight in New York. The Giants are at the Red Sox. Well, you'd think Boston would clean up there, wouldn't you? Rays running away with things. They'll be in Baltimore against the Orioles this weekend. The Mets will be in Chicago to take on the White Sox. Mets are not good. Maybe they can win a couple for us. Tigers and Royals are battling. Detroit still trying to hang in there. Astros and A's this weekend. Angels, Rangers this weekend. Twins will be at the Padres. That'll be a good series. We'll see if the Pods can get a couple from Minnesota, help us out here over the weekend. Cubs, Mariners are going to get together. And, again, Cleveland and Colorado this weekend at Coors. Then the Guards will go to L.A. to play the Angels. And then they'll come back this way a little bit, and they'll get together with the Kansas City Royals. There we go. NFL football tonight, preseason. Jets, Steelers at 7, Jags, Panthers at 7:30, 9 o'clock, the Broncos and the Packers. Browns and Bills tomorrow, 1 o'clock at Cleveland Browns Stadium. We'll talk a little Browns with Drew here, too. We'll pick his brain on the incredibly unbelievable, ridiculous quarterback room that we're dealing with right now.
I got a lot of opinions on that.
Yeah, I know you do. I know you do, and I probably agree with all of them. Cavaliers yesterday, of course, made that deal. Our fill-in-the-blank Friday today, when the Cavs signed James Harden to that 3-year, $97 million contract, it was blank. Need you to fill in that blank, and I'm going to read some of the comments here coming on the show page, also on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Oh, my gosh. A lot of comments here since I looked last. Doug says it was expected. You need a point guard, and he will be in the Hall of Fame. Mike says expected. what were your other options? If he picked up his $42 million player option, the roster flexibility you created this summer may not have existed. Mitch says it was a head scratcher. Steve says stupid with 3 O's. Too much money, too many years. I agree with you, Steve. I agree with you. It should have been, I was thinking like 2 years, $50 million. 2 years, 55. 3 for 97. George says, Sam, it's risky. Pat, not surprised. Wayne, it was expected. Jim says predictable. Betty, okay, he can help since LeBron won't be back, at least for 2 more years. Doug says, Sam, it was a stretch. Jerry says it was expected. Jerry Weber says it's just plain silly. Doug says it's not going to make a difference. Keep those comments coming in. Our fill in the blank Friday when the Cavs signed James Harden 3 years at $97 million. It was blank. I need you to fill in that blank.
Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you.
You scared the bleep out of me.
Let me take myself down a little bit. I don't want to startle you guys. Hall of Fame City's checking in. Says
man alive, I've been waiting for this for a long time. Hall of Fame City, you're on the Sam Bourquin Show presented by AWP.
No, he commented. Sorry. No, he just
I thought he was calling in.
No. He said, first time back in weeks, brother. Got out of the hospital, spent 36 days, but I feel strong again and can't wait to hear you call a game tonight with my dad. Football is back.
Awesome.
Yeah, throw some back, actually. Welcome back.
Throw some prayers up for Hall of Fame City. He has been through it. We've been kind of talking a little bit throughout the last couple of weeks. He's been through it. Trust me when I tell you this. So we're praying for you, my man. Hang in there. Be strong. Keep fighting. And you're going to come out the other side, okay? So I just want to get that out there as well. Big contributor to the show, huge high school football fan, big McKinley fan, big Stark County football guy. So we're thinking about you, Hall of Fame City, and keep fighting, man. We're behind you for sure. So let's talk a little Browns here, shall we? I don't know if you heard anything about yesterday. I didn't hear much. I was knee deep in high school football yesterday afternoon, but I heard the Browns got manhandled in that joint scrimmage with the Bills yesterday. And I don't know what to take out of that. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a joint practice / scrimmage / let's see what both these teams got. Let's not hurt anybody because we are going to play against each other Saturday afternoon. But I heard it was, from some people, I heard it was men versus boys. I don't know what to take out of that.
Yeah, you know, I Zach Jackson does a really good job covering the Browns.
Yes, he does.
And you know, reading his stuff, reading Chris Easterling, you know, some other folks. I think what you want to find out of those is how did the question mark positions perform? Because if the positions that you know are going to perform don't perform well there, it's practice. You know what you're going to get, right? Guys are proven, right? Carson Schlesinger is not in there, right? You know Jared Verse is going to perform. You know, you got defensive linemen that are going to perform. You know, when the chips are down, Denzel Ward's going to perform, you know, the safeties. So the encouraging thing is it sounds like the offensive line played much better.
Okay. That makes me feel a little better because we're working in a lot of new pieces, new coaching staff, some young guys, some old guys, some draft picks. It's not easy to throw that together in the NFL. It's just not that easy to do.
And I think what we're finding out with the quarterbacks is they just are who they are, right? Like Deshaun Watson has the lower ceiling and the higher floor. And I think Shedeur Sanders long-term has the higher ceiling, but he also has the lower floor right now.
Right.
You know, I watched Shedeur Sanders and he does some really good things. The way he keeps his eyes downfield and his pocket presence in the pocket, he actually looks like Tom Brady. However, he just really struggles to play on time, which is imperative in the NFL or you're going to turn the ball over, right? And I don't know, you know, I can sit here and say, I don't know if he's reading the defense, but I don't know what the heck he's supposed to be looking at, right? So it's tough for me to say that. But one thing that is apparent, he's always not on time. And you got to be on time in the NFL. Kurt Warner made a career out of just getting the ball there on time, out of your hands on time. Drew Brees got the ball out fast, right? Undersized guy. So I think it's going to be Deshaun Watson. And we know, at Deshaun's best, maybe this is a 7-win team. If they stay healthy, 8-win team, because that's what it's about in the NFL anymore. Everyone is going to either win 3 or lose 3 games based on their health because the season's so long.
Right. Yeah.
Right. I mean,
soon to be longer.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be Deshaun. I think eventually they'll pull the plug if it gets bad and say, all right, let's prove to the fans that want Shedeur that he might not be it. And, I think the Browns, I think a lot of people criticize them not going after a quarterback in this draft.
I don't.
But I think there's
year.
more depth in next year's draft. So even if you don't get the number 1 pick, if you get the second quarterback or the third quarterback, sometimes that's not a bad thing. When the Browns drafted Baker Mayfield, there were some other pretty good quarterbacks in that draft.
Yep.
Right. One just won a Super Bowl. So
who do you think is? Everybody points to Arch Manning. I would point to him. I think he will be ready to go. But if that's not there, or they don't go that direction, or whatever, who's number 2? Who's number 3? I mean, do you like the kid out of Oregon? Do you like the young man from?
I like the kid from Ole Miss, Trinidad Chambliss.
Yeah,
and then they talk about the Lenore Sellers in South Carolina. I'm not
a
that.
Sellers fan. I'm not.
The kid from Cal. They talk about. But I think.
Do you think Arch is far and away?
I don't. I think he's got to prove it.
Okay.
I think he's going to have the opportunity to prove it. I mean, with Ohio State coming in with the SEC schedule, he's going to have an opportunity to prove it. He played well at the end of last year, but I like Trinidad Chambliss because Lane Kiffin has shown that his offense can produce NFL quarterbacks, right? Quarterbacks that excelled in his offense, whether it was at Alabama or, at Ole Miss with Jackson Dart, those quarterbacks have had success in the NFL. So I'd like to see what, now obviously Lane Kiffin's moved on to LSU, but I like the Chambliss kid. He can move. He's made for today's NFL. He's big, he's tall, and he can move, right? In the NFL, you got to either be big, tall, and super accurate now, or big, tall, and move.
Yeah.
Baker's still okay, but there's not many other undersized guys in the NFL right now that are succeeding.
No, you got to see over your line. You got to see over your line, and you got to be able to step up or step out. And some guys can do it, and some guys can't. Shedeur, I mean. You read social media, you hear stuff, you watch everything. The kid's he's just not an NFL quarterback. He's just not, and it's not his fault. He is what he is. I don't think he's an NFL quarterback. That's why I can't get too bent out of shape about Watson starting. Obviously, he starts because of the salary. But look, if you want to give Shedeur, I just don't think it's there. I think we learned that where he was drafted. I think the tape doesn't lie. What he did at Colorado, he did at college. Granted, he did not have a great offensive line in Colorado. He didn't have a great running game. I just don't think the guy is an NFL quarterback. He says the right stuff. He smiles. I just don't see it. I just don't see it.
Yeah, it's kind of if you aren't in the room with those guys every day, is he because he does things well. Does he do things well because of his talent and he's got to do the intangibles better to get him there? Or does he do things well because he's just grinding it out, right? Like they always say, there's 2 types of A students, the ones that are just naturally intelligent and the ones that really work at it. So I think if, and maybe, I don't know, if he's the one that really does work at it and this is where he is, I don't know. Maybe he won't be. But if he's the guy that just does have to keep working, I think, there's a lot of guys that go take a seat for a couple years and become a starter. Or, Colt McCoy flopped with the Browns and he had, a 16-year NFL career?
He was able to hang in there.
There's only 32 of those jobs. And if you're the 34th or 36th guy, Maybe you won't be some years. Maybe you will be other years. So I think that's probably Shedor's always going to land between the 28th and 38th quarterback in the league, probably, as long as he's in there.
I would agree. It's the Sam Bourquin Show here, presented by AWP Safety. We're live at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, 1310 WDPN, all of our social media platforms. We're going to be with you until 6 o'clock tonight. Phones are open, 330-821-1310. Get your comments in on the Sam Bourquin Facebook page, Q92 Radio YouTube channel, all over. And make sure you check out tonight, Q92radiosports.com. You will see high school football, experience, immerse yourself in it like you never have before. A couple more before we take a break. I want to ask Drew Schrackman joining us here on the show. He's with me every Thursday. Good enough to come up here and spend some time with us Friday, kind of like in his backyard here a little bit. Why do you think the Browns have handled Shedeur the way that they have?
Because Andrew Berry sees all of his players and picks as an asset. And he does not have a lot invested in Shedeur Sanders. So you continue to...
Who made that pick? Jimmy?
I don't know. I mean, I think it was probably everyone but Stefanski, which is why he's probably not there.
Right.
I mean, from what I understand, from what everyone says, that Dylan Gabriel was Stefanski's pick, and that that'll sink you. I mean, you make a bad quarterback pick, but I think like what is there to gain from cutting Shedeur Sanders?
Well, you don't want egg on your face, so they're not gonna just cut him. Do you think Gabriel is on this roster? I mean, they're not going to keep four guys.
I don't think so.
Right?
I don't think so. I think you're going to see him. I think they're preparing him while he's getting some of those reps to play him in a game and say, hey, maybe someone wants him. Maybe Kevin Stefanski wants him. Because the videos of the Atlanta Falcons quarterbacks don't look very good right now. But I mean, I think you put Shedeur out there and you just keep along the path. You're not winning. You're not turning him into a piece that's going to help you win now. So maybe something like a spark lights. Maybe he's a backup quarterback. I've never heard people don't like Shedeur Sanders because of his public persona, and they really work to elevate his brand. Have you ever heard of Shedeur Sanders being in trouble, of his teammates not liking him? I mean, I haven't.
I have not.
So
he doesn't. He from what we know, and I know there's some guys that are really well protected, but I don't think he gets in trouble. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. From what we gather, he works hard. He stayed in the area during the off season more than a lot of our other quarterbacks have done over the years. But there's just such a push from the Shedeur crowd. I think that rubs everybody the wrong, because the Shedeur crowd, you can't tell them that he can't play.
Correct.
Because they're not going to listen to you come hell or high water. Then there's the other side fighting with those folks. And it's just like, it's one crazy bottle of nonsense. And I think it's just what the Browns don't need right now with what they're trying to do and where they're trying to go.
If Shedeur Sanders goes out and plays well in this preseason game, which is likely to happen, or because it's preseason, right? I think he's more valuable than or at least as valuable as a trade asset as the pick we picked him at. So if you can flip him for another fifth, or maybe a quarterback gets hurt along the season and he comes in and he plays well in the preseason, and maybe a team needs a backup, like maybe out in LA where they've got an older quarterback and a quarterback guru over there, right? He says, I'll take a flyer on Shedeur Sanders. Here's a 4th round pick. We don't use these draft picks anyways for the Rams.
Yeah, they don't believe in drafting.
So maybe maybe something like that happens. So I think he's an asset to the team, and that's why he's on the roster.
Interesting. We're going to step away here. This is the Sam Bourquin Show, presented by AWP Safety, live at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Phones are open, 330-821-1310. We got some comments coming in on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. We'll get to those when we get back. And Sammy's Best Bet coming up.
AWP Safety, North America's leading traffic safety company, is hiring traffic control flaggers, and they need you. Join AWP as a protector for steady work and an important job keeping people safe. They offer paid training, certification, referral bonuses, and advancement opportunities. To apply, visit jobs.awpsafety.com. That's jobs.awpsafety.com.
We're taking this time out to remind all Americans to stand tall and show support for the brave and honorable men and women of our U.S. military, past and present. Their fearless efforts shall never go unnoticed. This message courtesy of Accent Home Improvement in Alliance, serving you with quality and pride. For information on the services they provide, call 330-206-2837. That's 330-206-2837. Accent Home Improvement, serving the area since 2008, where they're wishing everyone a safe and prosperous season.
Hi, human. I'm a micro monster, swimming around in your plastic water bottle. But I can't wait to swim in your bloodstream soon.
Microplastics are micro monsters.
Drink me. Wait, what are you doing?
But you can fight back by using glass or metal reusable water bottles.
No!
Don't let microplastic micro monsters invade your body. Find more ways to fight back at stopmicromonsters.org.
WDPN, welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. We're also rolling on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel as we come to you high atop Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Thanks for Drew Sarackman for stopping by and hanging out with us a little bit, talking a little high school and a little Browns today. It's time for Sammy's Best Bet, and we're going to do something that I don't think we've done in quite a while. We're going to include the Cleveland Guardians in our big play tonight. And, of course, I love betting the overs with the Colorado Rockies, especially at Coors Field. And even though the Guards struggle to hit, they struggle to score, everybody hits in Colorado. And I think Joey Cantillo is probably going to give up a few tonight, if I'm being totally honest. They got this number at 10.5, so the experts believe that there will be some scoring tonight, and I tend to agree. So we're going to go over the 10.5 Guardians-Rockies tonight at Coors Field for Sammy's Best Bet. 10.5 over the Rockies and the Guardians tonight out in Denver. That is Sammy's Best Bet. We'll take a break. News and weather coming up next right here on 1310.
Here's the latest news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 4:30. A woman has been charged with providing support to a terror group after she was accused of plotting an ISIS-inspired attack on the New York Capitol in Albany. 35-year-old Jessica Bowie is alleged to have told a confidential source she supported the Islamic State group and asked for help learning to make explosives. First Assistant U.S. Attorney John Sarcone told reporters Thursday she was arrested by the FBI in Albany. According to the complaint, Bowie converted to Islam 5 years ago, became radicalized online, and created several social media accounts. She allegedly communicated from July 16th through August 17th with a confidential source working with the FBI and posing as an ISIS facilitator. State Department announced new sanctions on Cuba targeting state-owned companies and the leadership of the Cuban Institute of Friendship with the Peoples. Thursday's sanctions targeted Fernando Gonzalez Yort, the president of ICAP, Vice President Noemi Ramona Rabaza Fernandez, and North America Director Lema Martinez Friere. State Department also imposed sanctions on 9 Cuban entities linked to the regime's exploitation of the metals and mining sector. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said Cuba's communist regime used Fidel Castro's 100th birthday, August 13th, to re-energize its subversive network by transporting a new brigade of international sympathizers to Havana for networking with Cuban officials. The doctor who advised President Biden on COVID-19 warned Dr. Anthony Fauci and other top Biden administration officials that wearing cloth masks provided, quote, very limited protection. Dr. Michael Osterholm told Fauci and other officials, including the director of the CDC in August 2021, the government needed to encourage the wearing of N95 masks. CDC recommended masking in 2020 after the pandemic started, prompting mandates in schools and other places. The agency promoted cloth masks in addition to better quality face coverings, citing research it published in its quasi-journal. Osterholm reacted by composing a message to Fauci, then CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky, and several others, saying, "I'm sending this via text messaging to avoid any Freedom of Information Act issues." Former Fauci advisor just pleaded guilty to defrauding the government by destroying and conspiring to destroy federal records subject to the act. ICE arrested 5 suspected child predators during an operation in Nebraska between August 12th and 14th. The undercover operation carried out by ICE's Homeland Security Investigations Omaha unit with state and local partners. 3 of the 5 had prior convictions for sexual crimes against children and were also listed on sex offender registries. If convicted, the 3 could face enhanced penalties, adding 10 more years to any sentence. More than 5,000 child predators and human traffickers have been arrested since President Trump took office in January 2025. All 5 suspects intended to engage in sexual acts with children, according to ICE. The HSI Omaha Metro Juvenile Sex Trafficking Task Force has obtained 21 federal convictions since 2021. 79 degrees at 4:33 for WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Here's Mark Johnson's forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
A lot of bright sunshine through the afternoon, maybe a couple of clouds floating by. That's it. Low humidity and a high, comfortable 80 degrees. Overnight tonight, dry all night long with clear skies. Evening temps in the 70s and overnight low near 60. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
I think we can all agree. Over the last few years, things have gotten weird.
Weird, confusing, and at times pretty scary.
And for our kids, these things can be overwhelmingly stressful
and can increase the risk for mental health problems as they grow.
But there's so much hope.
Scientific research and real-life experience
tell us that the number one antidote to stress is authentic, trusted relationships.
So that's why I.
That's why we.
That's why I am committed to building and maintaining a trusted space.
For the students I influence every single day.
Until schools across the country
can proudly call ourselves a trusted space.
This is 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 a trusted space.
Access free films and resources to build trusted spaces in your schools and communities at atrustedSpace.org.
(1310) WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, presented by AWP Safety. We are live high atop the Pro Football Hall of Fame here, the Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Getting ready for, let me turn myself around here a little bit. Getting ready for Kent McKinley and Warren Harding tonight. We'll be on the air here on WDPN till 6, and then we'll switch over. I will be with Brian and Ryan, 6:30 tonight or thereabouts on Q92 for the Pups and Warren Harding. Matthew checking in on the Q92 Radio YouTube chat. Happy High School Football Friday. You guys do an amazing job making all the games. Go Buckeyes. I hope that Perry has a great game against Central tonight. And thank you, Matthew, for checking in on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Phone lines are open if you want to pop in today. 330-821-1310. 330-821-1310. Again, coming up on Q92 tonight. Kent McKinley, Warren Harding. Pregame begins at 6:30. Also, want to kind of remind everybody about the Q92 Radio sports.com. Get on that tonight, okay? And you will be amazed by what you're going to see. You're going to hear the audio of the game. You can pick any game you want. All 7 are going to be up there. Just hit that game and then hit Gamecast. Real easy. I can do it, and I'm a dummy. You can do it too. And you can pull up stats, scoring drives, game rosters, where the ball is on the field. It's next level. It's next level stuff. Q92radiosports.com. Make sure you keep that in there and make sure you get on tonight if you're enjoying or want to enjoy 1, 2, 3, or all 7 of our games tonight. Again, Q92radiosports.com. Thanks to Drew for coming up here and spending some time with us today. My guy Jimmy, right under the press box up here tonight. We're making sure everything is okay. We had a couple obstacles we had to get over, but we're through those, and I think we're going to be good to go in this spot for tonight. All right. Last night's games, Jackson over Chardon, Fairless over Sandy Valley Big. I thought the Bears really played well last night, especially in that second half. Fairless played well. I think they had some pre-snap stuff going on. First night jitters, totally understand that. Sandy Valley's going to get better. It's just going to take some time. And I know they're kind of struggling a little bit. They've lost 11 in a row, I believe. But they're fighting. They're fighting, and they're going to get better. It's just going to take some buy-in, and it's going to take a little bit of time. Games tonight on the Q92 Sports Network. Of course, McKinley, Harding, Central Catholic, and Perry. One of our ball games tonight. Dover at Glen Oak, Buchtel, Hoover, North Ridgeville, Lake. I wanted to talk to Drew about Massillon. I didn't get a chance to. Massillon, Glenville tonight at Paul Brown Tiger Stadium. We got Alliance at Northwest here on AM 1310 WDPN. What games are exciting you tonight? My high school football fans out there, which games are you really kind of focused in on tonight? I know Glenville Massillon's going to get a lot of the juice. This McKinley Harding game, I think Alliance Northwest is going to be a really good game. Keep your eyes on North Ridgeville and Lake. I think that is going to be a very good ball game tonight. I'm just hoping Lake can stay healthy. If Lake can stay healthy, they may have something. They got a pretty decent non-conference schedule. And, of course, once they jump into the Federal League, Jackson, I think, was kind of one of my picks before the season started to have a nice year. They are really, really good defensively. If Carter Mullerman can keep doing what he's doing offensively and work a couple of the kinks out, and their offensive line, Jackson's offensive line is going to be a big key for them. But I think they could make some noise. Hoover, I know they lost a lot of kids to graduation, but they always seem to get it done, right? By the end of the year, they're there, right? 7-3, 6-4 some years, 8-2. They're going to be there. Coach Baum I tell you what, when he came up from, was it Fredericktown? A lot of people are like, boy, Fredericktown, boy, that's a long way away. That's a small school. That's a whole different ball game down there. Coming up to North Canton, coming up to the Federal League, this, that, and the other. Tell me who's done a better job than Coach Brian Baum the last several years. I mean, Hoover's there. Hoover is there every single year. Now, are they winning 12, 13 games? Nope, but they're not losing 12 or 13 games either. And sometimes they got to deal with the cycle of, okay, we had a lot of really good kids. We lost a lot of kids to graduation. Sometimes, unfortunately, like they've had injury problems, especially at the quarterback position here and there. So yeah, I think Hoover's they're going to be there. I think Perry's going to be improved. I think year 2 with Spencer Leno, I think they're going to be better. Green with Mark Geis, I never count them out. I don't know. I'll be interested to see how they do against Indy Valley tonight. That will give me a little bit of a meter on where the Green Bulldogs might be. Glen Oak is hosting Dover. Again, I think this is another situation where patience is going to be key. New coach for Glen Oak, Coach Dennison coming over from Canton South. That might be a process thing for Glen Oak, and I'm interested to see how they play tonight against Dover. Dover always seems like they're ready to go, and I don't think that'll be any different this year. Phone lines are open 330-821-1310. Text line you can get into, and of course the Q92 Radio YouTube channel open for business for your comments too. Keller checking in tonight. He said he's looking forward to Lake and North Ridgeville. Now, North Ridgeville really had a nice year last year, but their quarterback graduated. So I'm kind of thinking they might take a little bit of a step back. I'm not sure, but I think Lake at home tonight. I would think that they would get that done, but we'll see. That'll be one of the games on our Q92 Sports Network tonight, so make sure that you are checking that out as well. What else did I want to get into here during this segment? Get papers all over the place, folders all over the place. Bear with me, folks. I'm digging through some stuff right here. Okay. Found what I was looking for. All right. Massillon Glenville tonight. Paul Brown Tiger Stadium again on the Q92 Sports Network tonight. I believe Massillon will. I think they're going to run Glenville right out of the stadium. Last year's game was phenomenal. Glenville state championship games in 22, 23, 25. They won those state championship games by a total of 109-6. Okay. Now keep in mind that Glenville has kind of merged with Cleveland Collinwood, one of the other schools up there in the Senate League in the Cleveland City. So they will not, as far as I'm concerned, they're not going to stay Division IV. I don't think that we talked about this yesterday. I don't think the ink is dried on this move yet, but I think they're going to be Division II. I think there's a possibility at the end of the day they could be Division I. We're talking about Cleveland Glenville. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Might know something there by early September. Glenville won last year in overtime 33-27. I know Massillon people remember that. I know it stings. I know Coach Moore remembers it. The players that are back from last year's game remember that as well. That was a heck of a game last year. I just think Massillon is so loaded and on both sides of the ball. They're special teams. And I know Glenville lost some kids, but like again, they're good. They're going to get kids from Collinwood, and they've been really good about bringing other kids in over the years. So they're going to have a really nice football team. Now, just because Massillon is as loaded as they are, does it mean they're going to go out and win every game 50-0? No, they could, but there's going to be some growing pains. A lot of new kids playing for them this year. Kids coming in. Work the quarterback situation. When I went to the Massillon Avon scrimmage, I thought that Himes was really, really good playing quarterback. And Manny Patterson, when I was at the scrimmage, I don't think I saw him get a snap. Now, I was only there for about a half hour, but I thought Himes looked the part, or Haynes, Rasmus Haynes. He's about 6'3", 6'4", legit. And I think that's going to be their guy, to be honest with you. We've talked about the Feaster brothers a lot. My gosh, the talent they have to throw the ball to. I think 80% of the Massillon basketball team starts for the Massillon football team, and Geo Jackson and Gamble, and there is so much talent there. So much talent there. I really don't think that maybe I'm nuts here, but I think they really hammer Glenville tonight. I really do. We'll see. I could be wrong, and so be it. I'll eat crow coming up here on Monday. But I think Massillon really wins that big tonight. But I'm anxious at the same time. I'm anxious to see what that game's going to be like because of the amount of just pure athletes, pure athleticism that's going to be on the field tonight at Paul Brown Tiger Stadium. What do you think? What are you going to the Massillon Glenville game tonight? You're going to be following it tonight with us on Q92 Sports Network. What do you think is going to be the outcome in Tiger Town with Massillon and Glenville tonight? 330-821-1310. Get your comments in on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel, Sam Bourquin Show page on Facebook. You can hit us up on X at AM 1310 WDPN.
Got a Hall of Fame City checking in. Says this is the best Maslin team on paper, in my opinion. Got Cameron checking in on YouTube. Says, will you be covering the Warren Harding v. McKinley game tonight? And boy, Cameron, good news for you.
We're already here, brother. I'm already here. We're at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium right now, and I will switch over from the AM station, which I'm on now. I'll be over on Q92 tonight to have the call of McKinley and Harding. So, Cameron, thanks for listening. Thanks for popping in, and we'll have the game for you tonight on Q92. Rules the Jungle says, go Panthers. All right, Rules the Jungle. Thanks for popping in here today as well. But what do you think, Maslin Glenville tonight? What are your thoughts? You Tiger fans out there, come on, I know you're out there. You had your big rally the other night down on Duncan Plaza. Everybody was ready to rock and roll. You got that beautiful. Don't forget now, George. Don't forget now. I want a picture of that scoreboard tonight. If you can get me one, send it to us, whether it's a little 10-second video or just a picture. I want to see what that looks like tonight in all its glory. Okay? Wow, that's going to be. Many Christmas. That scoreboard's just beautiful.
Oh, I can't wait. George really does come through with that.
I think he will. But if anybody else is out there going to the Maslin and Glenville game tonight, send me a picture of that scoreboard, maybe around 6:15, 6:30, right before kickoff. I want to see what that bad boy's looking like when it's all fine-tuned and all the pixels and all that stuff are going. I can't wait to see that. That's going to be pretty cool. Maslin. Is it state championship or bust this year? Is it with all that talent, with the outstanding coaching staff? Now they're going to play 3 road games this year. They played 1 a year ago. All right, so they're going to be on the road a little bit. They're playing a lot of teams again that we don't know a lot about, teams from out of state. But I do know that they're going to play Glen Oak. I do know they're going to play Warren Harding. They are going to play Cleveland Glenville. They are going to play Kent McKinley. Is it state championship or bust? If you're a diehard Maslin fan or a really big Starr County football fan, would it be a disappointment if the Tigers did not win the whole thing? Obviously, Big Walnut is going to be there. Avon's going to be there. Hoban's going to be there. Toledo Central Catholic is going to be there. I think they're still in Division II. D2 is tough, man. D2 is rugged. That's why a lot of Division II teams said, you know what, we'll go up to Division I. Thank you. And I think that's a smart move. I'm waiting to see when Maslin. Here's another thing I kind of wanted to get into, and this is just coming from the heart. I'd love to see Maslin say, you know what, we'll go up to Division I. I'd love to see that. I really would. I think they can play up there. I think some of their fan base would love to see them go back to D1, and I think they would be just fine. I'd like to see it. I really would. 330-821-1310. Cameron says, thank you. I will be listening in Florida tonight to the McKinley-Harding game. The bobbler, the Stark Akron All-Stars blew out the Cleveland Metro Stars. Will blow out the Cleveland Metro Stars tonight. Let's see here. Hall of Fame City. It's easy to say, but yes, as you said, Division II is loaded. I think the Tigers have what it takes. If they are able to, if any adversity should happen to come their way, and whether it's injury or it's some guys maybe, wanting more touches or more playing time, or, there's a lot that coaches have to deal with during a high school football season. And some of it happens in the school, some of it's in the locker room, some of it's on the football field. There's a lot going on there. If they can keep all the noise to a dull roar in-house, so to speak, then I think the Tigers could be playing for a state championship here in this very stadium coming up in December. But we got a long way to go. They got Glenville tonight, big test for them. The Tar Bloodles will be ready to go. Exciting game last season, overtime. We'll see. We'll see. I am fascinated with the talent of Massillon. I think this might be the deepest, most talented team they've ever had in the history of the school, going back to Paul Brown. I believe that. And, I was born, I'm 57 now. I've seen a lot of Massillon games. I covered Massillon games. I did Massillon games for years. And I remember the Spielmans. I remember the Brent Offenbeckers. I remember the Myricks, the Ryan Sparkmans, the Lamont Dixons, the Lee Hursts. I think this is the most talented football team they've ever had. But that doesn't mean you're going to win it all. It just means you got the most talent. And we'll see how that all plays out. We're going to step away. We'll take a break. This is the Sam Bourquin Show presented by AWP Safety on a Football Friday, 330-821-1310. You can get your text in as well. And don't forget, you can always shoot us a little comment on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. Coming up tonight, right here on 1310, Christian will have the call on Alliance and Northwest. I'll be over on Q92, this right here. And we'll have Kent McKinley and Warren Harding. Pregame at 6:30, the kickoff at 7. We'll step out. We'll come back with more. Hang in there with us, 1310 WDPN.
According to a recent study, each day over 22 veterans take their own lives. Together, we can win the war against veteran suicide. Nature's Cut Property Maintenance reminds us to let our vets know that they have an Army friend behind them who cares. This message from Nature's Cut Property Maintenance in Canton, serving the entire listening audience with quality service, reliability, and integrity. They care about your complete satisfaction. For service or more information, call 330-323-4320. Nature's Cut Property Maintenance in Canton, where they're on the air because they care.
Music and intelligence for your life. No matter what anybody tells you, words and ideas can change the world.
I'm John Tesh, and we couldn't be happier about bringing you intelligence for your life every day. We have a room full of researchers gathering the information and ideas you need to make your life simpler and better, and to make you the smartest person in the room. Join me for Music and Intelligence for Your Life, 10 to 3, Monday through Saturday, only on AM 1310 WDPN.
You heard it on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. Phone lines are open, 330-821-1310. We are high atop Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. Get ready for Kent McKinley, Warren Harding tonight over on Q92 at 6:30 tonight. You know, I could sit here. I can tell you I'm getting old. I could sit here and just watch the cars drive up and down 77 north and south for hours. I literally could just sit here and just watch. This is such a fantastic view here. I mean, there's nothing like it. Nothing like it. Let's see here. Sam, I think Perry's 2-quarter game condition scrimmage last Thursday with Iggy could be good news for the Panthers this year. They won that 17-7. Perry will take on Central Catholic tonight. That's one of the games on the Q92 Sports Network, so make sure you tap in and listen and enjoy that one, especially on Q92radiosports.com. You want to get in there on that as well. Guardians and the Rockies tonight in Denver. I believe that is an 8:40 first pitch. Joey Cantillo on the mound tonight for the Guards. Cleveland needs to just kind of keep doing what they're doing here. 2 out of 3 is good. You might want to mix in a little sweep. Okay, might want to mix in a little sweep here, maybe with the Rockies and or Angels and or Royals coming up here in the next 9-10 games or so as we start the competition tonight. The White Sox are in first place at 66-60. 66-61. Twins are in second place by 3.5. Minnesota 63-65. Boy, this division stinks. The Guardians are 62-66. They're 4.5 out. The Tigers are 5 out, a half game behind Cleveland at 61-66. So Guards are 4.5 out of first as we begin. Now remember, the Mets are going to be in Chicago to play the White Sox. I don't know how much help we're going to get there. New York is 58-70 on the year. Looking at the other divisions in the American League, Tampa, their lead against New York now, it's been withered away down to 4. Okay? Rays over the Yankees by 4. They're over the Red Sox by 8. So it's Tampa and New York for the division. White Sox over Minnesota by 3.5 in the Central. In the West, the Astros lead the Rangers by 1, the Mariners by 4. So that's going to be a grind all the way till the end. In the National League, Braves over the Phillies by 5 in the East. In the Central, the Brewers by 5 over the Cubs. In the West, probably over, Dodgers by 9 over the Padres, 10 over the Diamondbacks. So that's what we got to look forward to as far as MLB this weekend. We'll see if the Guardians can make a little noise. Let's see here. This Massillon team is ridiculously talented, should roll through their schedule. Yeah, it's tough. They got some interesting teams coming, but I would think that the Tigers should be pretty heavy favorites in almost all their games this year. Okay, it is an AWP Safety Football Friday. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN. We have reached the 5 o'clock hour. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We got one more big hour to go. We will prepare you for all the high school football games coming up tonight. We will check in a little bit with the Browns in between their joint practice with the Bills and their preseason game with the Bills tomorrow. And we'll take a look at what else is going on in the sports world as well. Thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. Don't go anywhere. 1310 WDPN.
An Alliance tradition for over half a century. You can always count on WDPN Alliance.
ABC News, I'm Mike Dubosky. Iran's foreign ministry says the Trump administration's threat to impose new sanctions on the country is a crime against humanity. ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers.
The Iranians certainly seem to be indicating that they think that these sanctions or some economic punishment are coming. They're saying that these could be oppressive and that military strength alone does not ensure the survival of a regime in a country, that if they're having difficulty with their economy, they're going to be in trouble.
The Justice Department today said it's agreed to a $400 million settlement with TikTok. In 2024, the Department of Justice sued that social media company for allegedly violating the Children's Online Privacy Act of 1998, claiming that TikTok had stored, collected, and processed data from child users without the consent of their parents. And the defense team for Lindsay Clancy has rested today. She's facing murder charges in the deaths of her children. This is ABC News.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a social media manager.
Did you just post our Q4 earnings to your personal social media?
Oh, yeah. Used the trending audio and everything.
That's confidential financial data.
Relax. It only went a little viral.
The SEC just commented with the eyeball watching emoji.
This is the job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
2 hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar.
Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers!
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over.
Now, the latest Alliance area news from Clint Marshall on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:02. Canton officials say an investigation is underway after 2 police officers mistakenly detained a 14-year-old boy Monday while searching for suspects in a series of car thefts. The boy was handcuffed on his front porch, and a doorbell camera captured officers yelling expletives during the encounter. Mayor William Scherer says professionalism is expected of every city employee, and incidents like this can damage the relationship between police and the community. Public Safety Director Andrea Perry says the officers' language and actions were unacceptable and not representative of department standards. She apologized to the boy and his family. The Ohio Supreme Court has upheld the death sentence of 54-year-old George Brinkman for killing a North Royalton woman and her 2 daughters in 2017. Court rejected 22 objections raised to his convictions and sentence, ruling Wednesday a Cuyahoga County 3-judge panel properly considered the evidence. Brinkman pleaded guilty in 2022 to killing 45-year-old Suzanne Taylor, 21-year-old Taylor Pfeiffer, and 18-year-old Kylie Pfeiffer. He had received the death penalty in 2018, but the Supreme Court ordered a new proceeding after finding Brinkman wasn't properly advised of his rights when he pleaded guilty. He also faces death sentences in Stark County for killing Rogel and Roberta John of Lake Township in 2017. More than $5 million in renovations coming to the North Canton Public Library. The current location on North Main Street, which opened in 1953, will close August 23rd. Much of the library's collection, offices, and operations will move over the next several weeks into the Hoover District space at 339 East Maple Street. It's expected to open in late September. The library's savings, a private foundation, and donors are paying for the renovation. An expansion is planned that would add a children's programming room on the first floor. State Fire Marshal investigating the cause of a fatal house fire in East Liverpool. Firefighters found a man dead inside the home in the 2000 block of Ohio Avenue after the blaze broke out around 2 o'clock Tuesday morning. The 2-story house collapsed during the fire, and an excavator was used to recover the victim, who's been identified as 62-year-old James Spencer. His cause of death is under investigation. A canine officer helped Boardman police end a foot chase August 9th involving a man wanted on a parole violation. Police say Brian Gaisier ran after an officer stopped him near Southern Boulevard and learned he had a warrant. Gaisier stopped when he heard the animal bark and was taken into custody. Gaisier was released in 2024 after serving 17 years for voluntary manslaughter and other crimes. He now faces an obstructing charge. Judges sentenced a Camel woman to 90 days in jail, 3 years of probation for an attack at a Brookfield subway. 21-year-old Kamara McKinney pleaded guilty in July to intimidation, identity fraud, theft, 2 counts of assault, and obstructing official business. Prosecutors say McKinney attacked 2 employees in July 2025. She was also accused of taking an employee's cell phone. 3 people accused of abusing a functionally impaired woman have been indicted by a Trumbull County grand jury. 28-year-old Dawn Slusher and 22-year-olds Rosanna Davis and Bryce Davis were arrested July 2nd. Adult Protective Services reported to Warren police in June the woman was afraid for her life, was being beaten, and had her money taken. An employee with an organization that assists adults with disabilities said the woman had written notes because she believed someone was listening to her. The woman was listed as missing when police received the report. Slusher and the other 2 face felony charges of abduction, assault, and failure to provide for a functionally impaired person. Slusher is also charged with theft. All are due in Trumbull County Common Pleas Court for arraignment next month. The Trumbull County grand jury has indicted a man accused in an officer-involved shooting. Police responded to the 1800 block of South Street Southeast the morning of May 15th for a report of someone waving a gun. Driver reportedly refused to stop, leading to a chase that ended on Charles Avenue Southeast. Police say someone inside the vehicle fired at officers who returned fire. One person was wounded. No officers were hurt. 18-year-old DeAndre Douglas faces 2 counts of attempted murder and felonious assault, as well as a weapons charge. Ohio BCI was asked to investigate. The case was bound over from juvenile court. 3 people were injured in a 2-vehicle crash in Niles. The driver of the second vehicle has been indicted by a Trumbull County grand jury. 24-year-old Samuel Sipes was arrested July 9th in Geneva. He's being held without bond at the Trumbull County Jail. He's expected to be arraigned Tuesday in Common Pleas Court. Police say Sipes fled on foot after the crash just before midnight, June 27th at North Main Street in East Madison. An adult and 2 juveniles in the other vehicle were taken to a hospital. Sipes was indicted Thursday on counts including attempted aggravated murder, and 3 counts of felonious assault. 79 degrees at 5:07. This is the local edition of WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Meteorologist Mark Johnson has the latest forecast on AM 1310 WDPN.
Our high today near 80 degrees, can't beat that, with afternoon sunshine galore and blue skies, low humidity as well. Overnight tonight, we've got clear skies all night long, evening temps in the 70s, overnight lows near 60. From the 3 News Weather Center, I'm Mark Johnson.
When your car is making a strange noise, no matter what it is, you can't just pretend it's not happening.
That's an interesting sound.
It's like your mental health. If you're struggling and feeling overwhelmed, it's important to do something about it. It can be as simple as talking to someone in your community, or just taking a deep, calming breath when you need it. Nice. For mental health resources, check out loveyourmindtoday.org. At loveyourmindtoday.org, you'll find information that may help you get through a tough time. Things like tips for dealing with stress, how to navigate difficulties like financial worries, anger, substance use, and more. You can also find real stories of how people navigated their own mental health challenges. Because once you start to address the problem, you can go so much further. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
My husband is a veteran, and he was injured in the line of duty.
It happened while I was deployed to Iraq. An IED detonated 3 feet from my face.
It was bad.
I remember thinking, who's going to take care of my wife and daughter?
We took care of each other with a lot of help from DAV.
Every year, DAV helps more than 1 million veterans like Jason get the life-changing support and benefits they've earned.
My victory is knowing my disability doesn't define me.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Live from the AM 1310 WDPN studio, it's time for live and local sports talk. It's the Sam Bourquin Show.
I'm ready.
Give the show a call at 330-821-1310.
Good call, meatball!
Watch the Sam Bourquin Show on the AM 1310 Facebook page, the Q92 YouTube page, and on X. This is the Sam Bourquin Show on AM 1310 WDPN.
10 WDPN. Welcome to the Sam Bourquin Show. It's an AWP Safety Football Friday. Shout out to the crew with AWP Safety. We are high atop, and I mean high atop. Oxygen comes in handy up here. Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. We're getting ready for the McKinley Warren Harding. That will be on our sister station tonight, 92.5 FM, Q92, and all of our social media platforms. But for now, 1310 WDPN and the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. We've been here since 3. We'll be with you until 6 o'clock tonight. 330-821-1310. You can also text. You can also get in on the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. I want to thank Drew Sarackman for joining us earlier today. Also, if you missed our interviews with Renzi Parnell of Canton McKinley. That is up on all of our social media platforms. You want to check that out. Get you ready for tonight's game. Ryan Isley has wandered. He didn't know he was coming on today, but I said, if you come through those doors, you're on the show. And he is doing some good work for Cleveland.com, covering Warren Harding and McKinley. Ryan, who used to Back when I was up at Rubber City Radio, we had Mr. Isley on quite a bit talking about the high school football scene. Welcome back to the airwaves. Different station, but more power. How you doing, man? What's been going on with you?
Good, man. I was actually just going to say this feels like old times, except for missing the other co-host, and feels like our normal Friday routine on a fall Friday. And I tell you, Sam, there are better venues for high school football. I get that, but there is something about walking into this stadium, seeing the Football Hall of Fame, seeing Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium written on the ground. There's just something about this that kind of gives you the chills on a Friday night.
And you can see all the progress going on here too with the village and the water park and everything, which this is the view for it. Like, you don't get this when you're on the ground. You don't get this but you can really see what all the stuff that's going on in here. And I know we've when I say we, I mean Stark County, City of Canton, State of Ohio, the NFL. We've all been overly patient with what has been going on. I say that as purely as I can say it. But when I see progress, like I've been seeing here today, and when I'm on 77 a lot, and it makes me feel good to know that this is going to get done, and we are going to have a jewel here. It's just going to take a little bit more time. But I can't, we all say we can't wait for the finished product. But when you get up here, man, you get an appreciation for everything that's going on, and I like what I'm seeing.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because I drive down past here quite a bit myself. And, you drive down 77 and you look over and you're like, oh, okay, maybe there's a little bit of progress. But you're right. Once you get up here, like I'm looking at the water park right now.
Yep.
And the last time I was here was state championships. And this,
think about
what I'm seeing here. And it's funny because last year I was here early in the season, and from there to state championships, there was a lot of progress made. And now we're seeing even more. So it's almost like, I think at some point we were all kind of like, is this really ever going to happen? Is this going? And I think now we're starting to see enough to where we can say, man, this is going to be spectacular when it's actually done. And it looks like it's actually going to get done now. So I think that's one of the coolest parts. And you're right. This view up here where we're sitting right around the 50-yard line, we can see everything, and it's spectacular to look at.
Yeah, it is. And so, you were here for the state title games. I was here. So we're talking December. Between the first week in December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, a lot has gotten done.
Well, and you got to
with terrible weather conditions.
I was just going to say, you have to factor in how much rain and wind and all that we got in this spring that canceled all the spring sports. They worked all the way through that, and it's very impressive to see what they've gotten accomplished on this so far. It's great to look at.
So you're here covering McKinley Harding again for Cleveland.com. Do you get your okay, Brian, this is where you're going? You get it like the week before, a couple of days before? You know where you're going. You know what matchups you're going to be excited about. What communities you're going to be bopping in and out of.
Yeah, I get my assignment on Mondays.
Okay.
And at that point, it is we do a quick game story, just give the basics and stuff, and then we do a feature story. And on Monday, I'm given, hey, here's a couple of possible angles. Here's a couple of possible players to watch. Obviously, tonight it's Birch and West are going to be the two guys that I'm going to have my eyes. Those are the two guys I'm going to have my eyes on the most probably. And depending, obviously, on how the game unfolds, that'll be where my story goes to. So that's kind of how we do it when I do stuff with Cleveland.com. It's a quick game story on a Friday night, and then usually on a Saturday morning I'm following up with this with a feature that'll either go up Saturday or Sunday.
So to get kind of everybody caught up with the business, it has changed so much. We had discussions on the show earlier this week. I was trying to remind people that maybe you're a little bit younger that I said, we used to start games at 8 o'clock. Then we went to 7:30. Newspapers used to not really have a deadline, so to speak. And then it was midnight. Then it was 11. Then it was 10:45. And now we have to have everything right now, Ryan. That's the world we live in. I sometimes struggle with that a little bit because of doing things the way I used to do them for so many years, but you got to kind of roll with the times, and you've been able to do that with what you do. But how has it changed in your world as far as covering, especially high school sports, with pre, during, and post?
It's taken a 180 over the last 9-10 years. Yeah. You're right. We used to be like, okay, whenever you can get it to us on a Friday night, we'll be able to get it in if we, we can hold the paper a little bit. Now, like I've done freelance work for a ton of different outlets, such as like Medina Gazette this spring. It was basically, hey, deadline 7, so don't even try to get it in. I mean, we're not going to get it in. We'll get it online. We'll do an online high school section, and that'll be where we'll put that in. It's weird. In a way, I kind of like it. In a way, I don't. Mm-hmm. I used to like working under pressure. I used to love that rush of, man, I got 15 minutes to get this entire story written. Make sure I got everything right. Yep. It's got to hit deadline. I got 15 minutes after the game. And it's also kind of nice to be like, okay, I can take this home. And now I can kind of relax. I can let everything settle in, and I can take time and get the story done. They still want game stories done pretty quickly because those go up online almost instantaneously. So that's something people can look at, and it gives people a taste of what is to come. Mm-hmm. But it is nice that I can then kind of wait until Saturday morning to put in my feature story. So it's, for me, it's kind of, I like it and I don't like it at the same time. I do miss those days though of just, man, like, oh man, this game's going late. Am I going to hit deadline? And now the game goes late and you're like, whatever.
Or how about, and in the newspaper business, I don't know how it still works now, but you're pretty much the ink's ready to dry. All of a sudden, something crazy happens and there's a turn. And the team who you were writing about to lose the game comes back to win the game. How did you handle all those? Because you talk about pressure. You got to completely rewrite the book.
I'm glad it wasn't on deadline. I'll say that. But about 3 years ago, one of my favorite pictures I have of me, another reporter, Derek Dimmitt, took the photo.
Yeah.
We're at, what is it called now? 717 Park or whatever it is. It used to be called Canal Park, right? Yep. State baseball championships. I've got this game story completely written. We're in the 6th inning. I'm done. I just need my final stats and my quotes. All of a sudden, the team scores like 6 runs in the 6th inning, and I've just got my finger on my forehead, and I'm staring at my
laptop. Which finger?
Right, I'm staring at my laptop like, what in the? And Derek took the photo and posted it on social. Like, it was something like, when you think you've already got your story written and the other team doesn't agree or something like that. And I was like, that right there is writing a gamer in a nutshell. Like, you're hoping to have it done. Sometimes you get lucky and the game's pretty easy to write, but there have been several of those nights where you think game's over, or the game's so tight that you can't start writing until it's almost done.
Right.
So you're stressing to get to the deadline. And honestly, those are fun days for me. I mean, they're stressful, but then once it's all done, you sit back and you take a deep breath and you're just like, oh yeah, that's what this business is supposed to be like. That's what it was back in the day. And that's what it was old school.
Yeah.
It's funny. You mentioned, how things have changed. I literally just saw like 2 days ago or yesterday, this week, all the National Radio Day stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody posting their, and I'm looking at it and it's like, wow, like,
it makes you sit back and go, what year is this?
Right.
How long ago?
Like, oh, that's right. We did used to do it that way. We didn't always have online radio. We didn't always have streaming. We didn't have, it was.
And it was damn good.
Yes. It was you.
Damn good.
It was you sitting in, taking calls. You got to dictate what the topics were, what people called in about, and you had to have a little bit of talent to do it. Not that everybody today doesn't have that talent, but it's spread out a little further now, and it's kind of fun to look back at the way that it used to be. And I mean, I know I sound like an old man there, but
I sound like an old man every day, and they let me hear about it too.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
It's all in good fun. Sam Bourquin here with you, AM 1310 WDPN special guest from Cleveland.com, reporting for Cleveland.com. Ryan Isley, our guest. We're talking a little football, talking a little old school newspaper, old school radio, having a little fun here live from Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium. 330-821-1310 is our number. So doing for Cleveland.com, obviously you have a little bit of knowledge of the Ignatiuses and the Eds and the Avons and the Glenvilles and some of the teams up in the Summit County. Did you happen to? I'm sure you did, but what was your take on the Avon Iggy game last night? What a wild one up in Huntington Stadium, huh?
I'll tell you what. I mean, I know Avon came out the winner, but you have to give so much credit to Ignatius, where they've been the last few years. When I originally saw that game on the schedule and where it was going to be played, eyes went a little bit wide.
Mm-hmm.
And then as I'm watching along on social, I'm sure as everybody else was last night, those of us that weren't at the game, I'm watching it come down to the wire. And I'm like, wow, like, you know, credit to Iggy for where they've come in. Obviously, Avon has you know, they've really come together and they've proven themselves as a Division II powerhouse now. They're, you know, they're a team to be reckoned with no matter what. But for Iggy, I think that's a humongous step for them.
I agree.
Two-time defending Division II. Forget divisions. Division II and Division I in Ohio are so close, especially now with the numbers low. Exactly.
It's almost a wash.
You just took the defending two-time state champions to the brink after what's happened there the last few years. I mean, I hope that means that they've finally got that thing turned around and they're going to be back where Iggy is, because I think football in Northeast Ohio is better when certain teams are good, and Iggy is one of those teams.
Yep, it's been almost a shock. Like, I did not see the tumble coming when Chico. I didn't see it. I didn't see that. I said, okay, so they're not going to win 14, 15 a year, but they're going to win 10 or 11, and they're going to win a couple of playoff games. I didn't see that coming. What? I know it's hard to answer now. Hey, what happened there, right? But what happened?
That's the question. I don't know if it was just they weren't getting the same players that they used to get, or if if kids were, you know, because in that situation, you know, private schools, it's cyclical. I mean, you look at Walsh and Hoban and St. V, and down in the Akron area, it's time over time. You know, you're going to have Hoban for a few years, then Walsh is now back up, CVCA even to an extent,
for a little bit, yeah.
And it shows in those areas where like Stowe has their tumble because their kids are now going to Walsh and CVCA.
And they were kind of rolling for a little bit.
Yeah. So like 6-7 years ago, they were a team to be reckoned with. So it's really cyclical when it comes to that kind of thing. And I'm with you. And Chico left. Like, I knew they weren't going to be as good, obviously. I mean, there's a reason. I mean, I don't know if he saw this coming, but I mean, have you ever seen a man get out of a situation in a better time? Because, you know, I saw them the next year against, I think, Pittsburgh Central Catholic, because that's when I was working with SB Live. So I had Ohio and Pennsylvania. So that was a perfect matchup for me. And that game wasn't even competitive.
You know, we talk about Eds Ignatius. You talk about Hoban, St. V, Walsh, CVCA. You know, the Youngstown thing is that's a movie right there with the Ursuline deal.
Yeah.
It looks like Mooney is now back on the uptick a little bit. And I talked to our good buddy Tom in Salem. He checks in with the show frequently. And he says, keep your eye on the merger school, the Youngstown Defenders, who are, I think they're Division II this year. It was, East Cheney?
Yeah.
He says, keep your eyes on them. So maybe that's another whole other thing we pay attention to over toward Mahoning and Trumbull County a little bit.
Well, and they still have Austintown Fitch over there, who's gonna, you know, they're gonna produce athletes every year, no matter what the sport is, and they're gonna give, you know, they're probably gonna play Walsh or Hoban in a regional semi or something like they do every year. And I thought the same thing with those mergers. When you get things like that, you're able to put the best of two or three schools together. It only seems logical that your team's going to be better, right? That
you would think.
You know, you would hope. You know, and if not, then maybe you need to get a different coach that can put everybody together, because that doesn't seem like it should be rocket science to get that many schools together and create one good team out of it. So, yeah, I was kind of curious about that myself at the beginning of the season.
Ryan Isley, our guest, does a great job of doing some great work for Cleveland.com. Got a couple of minutes here. What are you hearing about Warren Harding, about Camp McKinley from your circles, your view? We hear stuff here. You're in a different bubble, if you will. But what are you hearing as you get ready for tonight's game? And I know one thing. One thing will always be tried and true. When Warren Harding plays McKinley, there will be athletes on the gridiron everywhere.
Oh, yeah, for
everywhere.
Sure. And it's no exception tonight, obviously. I mean, obviously, we're keeping an eye on a couple of players, but there's athletes everywhere. And it's funny to me now, too, with this coaching matchup. You got two former Hoban assistants against each other, which I need to go say hi to Renzi, because he gave me grief all year last year because he asked if I knew where Canton was. So I got to go give him grief when I see him. But I think it's both teams are going up. Obviously McKinley had a decent year last year, and I think they're only going to improve on that. And Harding, listen, I mean, 3-6, but I don't think 3-6 really shows how good that team can be or the kind of players they have. You got a running back again, and he's a junior, who's getting offers already, and it's the same on the. And then they've got Birch, who, as a junior, has 29 D1 offers, including Ohio State, Oregon. He just picked up Miami and Arkansas.
Where do you any inkling where you think he might go?
I'll be honest. I used to be able to predict this so much better before the NIL years.
Right? Because you don't know who's offered.
No idea.
Yeah.
I mean, the only one that I knew of for sure was the one that just got announced a couple weeks ago.
Feaster.
Everybody that has any kind of sense of knowledge of it knew he was going to Oregon. But other than that, like, it's so hard anymore for these top kids to decide, or to even for us to predict where they might go. I mean, my hat's off to these rankings sites that do this and that get it right, because I can't really think of anything harder to do other than make a preseason top 25.
Yeah, I know. There's things have changed so much, and we got about 2 minutes here. That the whole NIL thing it's there, it's here, it's not going away.
Yeah.
The transferring. I talked earlier in the show about conferences just going away, new conferences being formed, teams leaving, teams joining, teams bouncing from divisions, going up, going down. There is so much now about the whole high school football as a whole. It's
trickling
so
down from
different.
It's trickling down from the NCAA,
college, right?
And with the conference thing, like, one of the last stories I wrote for the Gazette was Highland moving from the National to the American or whichever it was, moving from one to the other in the Suburban. Suburban's adding teams, they're losing teams, they're all over the place. And honestly, you kind of have to take a refresher course at the beginning of every school year to figure out what school is in what conference, what side of the conference they're in, what players have transferred, what players they have now, who's where. There were times in the last few years when I've tried to do like top players across the state at certain positions or whatever, and I'm like, oh, wait, when did that kid transfer?
Yeah,
when did that?
Thought he was over here.
Right, well,
now he's over there.
And then you've got the kid at Wayne who transferred, and now he came back. You're right. It's here.
Does it get to the point of ridiculousness, or is there a way that, I don't know, maybe an organization like the OHSAA can keep on top of it? I wouldn't want that task.
I was just going to say, because this is going to sound negative towards the OHSA, and I don't mean that at all, because it's the same in Pennsylvania with the PIAA. I mean no negative towards them at all, but I don't know how you can.
I don't either. I don't either.
I don't know how you have enough people in place at that level to keep this all together and not let it get out of control. And it's no fault of their own. It's what these kids see at the NCAA level. And if the NCAA isn't going to get a hold of it, how in the world are different states supposed to have a chance to do it? Because they're going to see what these college kids do, and they're just going to say, okay, well, if this state's not going to let me,
I'll go somewhere else.
I'll go to another state. Oh, you're not going to let us do NIL here? Hey, guess what? West Virginia has NIL. I can go there.
It's no longer I'm going to go to another school in Ohio. I'm going to go to another state.
Right. I'm going to leave. It's bonkers to me. And like you said, it's here. It doesn't mean we have to like it.
Right.
But it's here, and I don't think it's going anywhere.
I don't think it is either. Ryan, appreciate you coming in today. Best of luck with your work this season, and some good things ahead for you. Maybe hoping, and good luck with all that, and stay in touch. All right.
Appreciate it as always, Sam.
You got it, man. There he is, Ryan Isley, hanging out, doing some good work tonight for Cleveland.com. We got the news, we got the weather coming up. We'll take a break. It's the Sam Bourquin Show, presented by AWB Safety on 1310 WDPN.
Now, the latest area news on AM 1310 WDPN.
Good afternoon. It's 5:30. 2 U.S. Army Corps of Engineers employees among 8 people killed in a small plane crash in western Alaska. Plane chartered by the agency crashed Thursday near the Cape Newenham Long-Range Radar Site Airport, where it was scheduled to land. 2 pilots and 6 passengers were aboard the plane. NTSB investigators were traveling to the scene. The FAA says the twin-engine Cessna took off from Ted Stevens Anchorage International Airport. Texas court has reduced a $50 million judgment against InfoWars founder Alex Jones to $1.5 million over falsely calling the 2012 Newtown school shooting a hoax. The ruling does not affect a $1.4 billion judgment against Jones in Connecticut, but is a significant legal victory for Jones and his company Free Speech Systems. Jones had been found liable for damages for claiming the shooting did not happen. North Korea launched about 10 short-range ballistic missiles toward the Sea of Japan as the U.S. and South Korea conducted annual military exercises. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff said the missiles each flew about 180 miles toward North Korea's eastern waters. President Trump last week directed the Department of War to shorten joint military exercises with South Korea. The North has consistently condemned the annual joint military exercise on the peninsula, labeling the exercises as provocative. Robert Kennedy Jr.'s son, Connor, has been placed on Russia's most wanted list over allegations he served as a mercenary with the Ukrainian armed forces. Russian state media TASS reported August 12th, 32-year-old Connor Kennedy has been charged with participation of a mercenary in an armed conflict or military action. If detained, he could face 7 to 10 years behind bars. A TASS correspondent said Kennedy's legal team disagreed with the decision and appealed it. Noted the appeals court ultimately decided to uphold the court's decision. Kennedy shared a post in October 2022 on Instagram revealing he participated in combat operations in Ukraine while enlisted with the International Legion. Vice President J.D. Vance said Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has a plan to address the nation's roughly $40 trillion debt. Vance said on Newsmax, though we inherited this debt bomb from the Biden administration, we do have a plan to get the economy growing faster than the debt. That's the most important thing. Bessent told CNBC this week he attributed part of the recent increase to the temporary impact of tariff refunds mandated by the Supreme Court's February ruling. He said U.S. Trade Representative Jamison Greer would implement tariffs at the same level, adding he expects 2026 tariff revenue to be roughly comparable to last year. Bessent also argued the $40 trillion figure does not fully capture the nation's fiscal picture because the government itself holds a significant portion of the debt. 79 degrees at 5:33 for WDPN News. I'm Clint Marshall.
Now, the Alliance Area Weather Forecast from Mark Johnson on AM 1310 WDPN.
All right, 80 degrees sounds good for the high this afternoon. We've got a lot of bright sunshine and low humidity, couple of clouds here and there. Overnight, it's clear and starry all night long. Evening temps for high school football in the 70s. Overnight lows near 60. I am Mark J. Weather from 3 News.
AWP Safety, North America's leading traffic safety company, wishes the best of luck to Stark County student athletes this fall, and they need you. Join AWP as a protector for steady work and an important job keeping people safe. They offer paid training, certification, referral bonuses, and advancement opportunities. To apply, visit jobs.awpsafety.com. That's jobs.awpsafety.com.
It's High School Football Friday on AM 1310 WDPN. Catch all the action tonight with the RG Drag pregame show at 6:30. Join Christian Bigglesworth and Derek Dimmitt for all the action. It's the RG Drag pregame show on AM 1310 WDPN.
1310 WDPN. Welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show, presented by AWP Safety. It is an AWP Safety Football Friday. Thanks to Ryan Isley, Cleveland.com, for hanging out with us here for a couple of minutes. Both teams are here. Both teams are on the field. McKinley right now is huddled up around Renzi, Parnell around the 45, 50-yard line to our left, just to the left of the Pro Football Hall of Fame logo. 4 or 5 Warren Harding players are out there in full gear. They're padded up, they're helmeted up, they're ready to go. Pups are kind of out there in t-shirts and I think they're game pants for tonight. So everybody kind of making last-second preparations for the game tonight. McKinley, Warren Harding. It'll be on Q92, Q92radiosports.com tonight, and our YouTube channel. Pregame beginning at around 6:30. And we'll kick it off at 7. Our AM game tonight right here on WDPN. Christian And Derek will have the call on Alliance and Northwest. That'll be the DPN game tonight, beginning at 6:30. Big games tonight. We got a ton of them. The Massillon-Glenville game, I know, is going to get a lot of eyeballs and ears on it. I've been saying all week, I'll say it again, I think Massillon rolls Glenville tonight. We'll see. I have been wrong before, a lot. All right, I admit it. I've been wrong a lot. Listen to Sammy's best bet. I've been wrong a lot. But I think Massillon's is going to pound Glenville tonight. But just my opinion. 330-821-1310. You can also get your comments in the Q92 Radio YouTube chat. Ryan Rainsberg holding the fort down, getting ready for the madness that is Friday night. All right, Rainsberg, it is 5:37. The chaos begins in about an hour. How you feeling? You ready to go? You locked in? You got your pulp? You ready to go?
Sam, let me tell you here, I am so locked in. We got 7 games. It ain't nothing. We're ready to go.
You're ready to go? Yeah,
we got the new website. Come on. What are you talking about? We're locked in over here.
Let's revisit that while I've got you.
Sure.
Q92radiosports.com. Tell everybody what they can expect. I've done it a couple times today. I will continue to do it during the game tonight, my shows next week and moving forward, because you just when you think you promoted something enough, you haven't. So we want to keep telling everybody about it. Q92radiosports.com, brand new website. It is tech awesome, and how people can enjoy high school football. What can they expect tonight when they get on?
So I popped in yesterday. As I understand it, the mobile version and the desktop version work the same. So you just go to the website, you find the game you want to see the stats on, click on it, and it embeds our YouTube link. So you can listen to the game, you can see the transcript, you can see the score. Scroll down a little bit, there's a little football field. You can even see where the ball is on whatever line it is and what the downs are, everything. We got it all right there.
And you can get access to the rosters. You can get access to game stats, the scoring drives. The logos are going to be up there.
The interceptions were coming up last night. It was great.
Yeah. And you get all that with the play-by-play going on at the same time. So I know nobody else is doing it. We were tested out last night with our Sandy Valley Fairless game and our Jackson Chardon game. And the reviews were coming in hot and heavy last night. I continue to hear a lot of great stuff about it today. I haven't been able to dive in yet. I haven't had a chance, but when I do, and I don't know when that's going to be, I can't wait to really, let's just say tonight. I'm going to be home around 11:30. Can I get on Q92radiosports.com and can I go back in to whatever games that were being covered, and can I see stuff and hear stuff, or does that kind of go away when the game's over that night? Do we know how that works? Because I gotta plead a little ignorance there. I don't know 100%.
I'm not sure either, but let me go look.
Because that's like the first thing I'm going to do when I get home tonight. I'm going to get on there, and I want to see what everything looks like, or what it looked like during the game, and what people can expect to see and listen to and learn about, and just get that extra level of what we can do with our high school coverage here on Q92, and of course right here on 1310 WDPN. So just trying to figure that out a little bit.
So far, all I see is tonight's games.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Let's see if I go to scores. Oh, wait. If I go to scores, I can go to Thursday, August 20th, and I can see our 3 games from last night. So I can go to Fairless and Sandy Valley in here. I see the final was 44-6.
Mm-hmm.
I see it shows the first down at 45 seconds left in the fourth quarter. There's a tackle at 3:15. There's a first down, an incomplete pass. It's all right there in the
play. So you're kind of getting the running play-by-play there for that. So that's good.
You can scroll down through that and see every move that happened in the game.
And also, while you are locked in on whatever game you're listening to, as I talk to the fans out there, say tonight you're listening to Warren Harding McKinley. There's there's scores for all the other games that we're covering running at the top, and you can watch what's going on there. You can see the score. And if you say, hey, that game looks pretty good, boom, I'm going to tap into that game. And then you can get the same experience with Glenville Massland or with North Ridgeville Lake. So I mean, we try to make it as like that's where you want to hang out for about 3 or 4 hours on a Friday night.
Yeah, the top of the screen's a ticker. You literally click whatever game you want, and it goes right to it. That's pretty sweet.
Do we have a name? I was getting messages last night from the boss man, and he was referring to it as the QCast. Is that what we're calling it? Okay,
that is what it's called.
All right.
It'll you can see actually if you look there right now, you can see every game that's being played in the area tonight. And if it says on Q92, that means you can watch it live and listen to it live. But if it doesn't say that, you can still see the scores coming up and track what's going on in the game just without the audio.
Very awesome.
Whether we're calling it or not, you can track it.
QCast. Every Friday night. I love it. Awesome. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
Rolls off the tongue nicely. I do agree.
Yeah, I like QCast.
Yeah.
I do. That really sounds good. So you've got we'll be working together tonight on Q with McKinley Warren. Christian will be on 1310 WDPN with Alliance in Northwest, and then you and Pedro and Jake are going to be back at the command center and making sure everything's rolling smooth tonight. And a lot of big matchups, a lot of games, a lot of people will be tuned in, listening, getting information, getting the audio. And I also want to stress, last night, if you have not looked, you can go do that right now. Q92 Sports Facebook page, WDPN Facebook, Instagram. You can go back and watch post-game interviews with coaches and players, highlight videos, game night photos. That stuff is all there. That's not going away. We got all that too. So we've got you 100% covered each and every Friday night with a ton of high school football action. Whether you're listening to it, you're kind of watching it on the QCast. We got it going on. I'm happy with everything that's going on. Proud to be a part of it, and hopefully all of you out there listening and watching will jump in on board here with us. Tonight's our first real big Friday, and I'm excited to see how this turns out. It's almost like a red zone version of high school football. If you're familiar with the NFL red zone. Now, obviously, we don't have the live video we get the live audio and everything else going around, so you're constantly being updated everything that happens. So the QCast is almost like it's just an audio version of the NFL red zone. And hey, that's if you're talking about something like that, that's as best as you're going to get. I mean, nobody is doing that.
Maybe you're working late and you can't have something on that's got audio going, so you don't want to get in trouble with your boss. Well, now you don't got to worry about that because you could just watch the stats live without any audio.
Yeah,
just use your eyeballs.
Kind of keep the audio quiet if you might get in trouble. But then when the boss goes down the hall, you can turn the audio up back again, and
absolutely
you're right back where you started. That's awesome. I'm excited about this. Let's see here. I just got a text from Brian Beatty. Rainsburg, you might be waiting on your interviews tonight. I know Brian's just getting ready to leave Louisville, so he's not going to be here for a while. He had to move one of his daughters in today up at BW, and I know it was going to be an emotional day for Brian. So he'll get here as soon as he can, and we'll put him to work.
A little birdie told me that back at the station, said Brian was very emotional this morning. I heard. Well, he should be.
He was worried about it last night, and I was like, "Hey, let's try to deal. It's tough, man. When one of your kids, whether it's a son or a daughter, goes off to, they're leaving the house. That you've had them there forever for the most part, and when they're 18, some of them are 19, and they say, "Hey, I'm leaving." You're like, "What? What do you mean you're leaving?" And I talked to a lot of. Heard from a lot of moms and dads all week about, they got up the next day after their son or daughter had moved away to go to college, and they would go by the bedroom and it was empty. And they just broke down. They couldn't believe it. Or they went out to the driveway and their son or daughter's car wasn't there. And you're almost saying, man, I miss those messes. You know, the towels thrown on the floor and all the shoes by the entranceway. And I'm telling everybody to pick them up all the time. And it's gone. It's like, that's nuts, man. I'd be a nuts. I would be an absolute, I'd be a disaster. We're lucky. Our son's going to go to Walsh, and Dylan's he's going to be at home at least another year, maybe 2. I'm trying to talk him into not leaving and stay home for as long as he wants. But he'll be at Walsh. He's got a commuter weekend this weekend, so they're doing a bunch of stuff up on the Walsh campus. My wife's over there with him, and they're doing some activities and enjoying some food and fellowship and getting to redo everything and take some more tours. And so he'll be ready to go, and then he'll be a part of the aviation program too. So he'll be spending a lot of time flying up at the Akron Fulton Airport as he's getting ready to hopefully, become a pilot here in the next 4 or 5 years. And so we're looking forward to that. But yeah, it's a tough thing when your son or daughter leaves for the first time and goes off to college. It's like, whoa. That's a big change right there. Phone lines are open for you here, 330-821-1310. Text line open, 330-944-5179. And, of course, the Q92 Radio YouTube channel. The chat is open and ready for you. Let me take a little gander here. 548. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to run down the Guardians weekend here real quick before we get to our first break. Rockies and Guardians tonight, 8:40, the first pitch at Coors Field. Joey Cantillo on the mound for the Guards. Tomorrow, it's an 8:10 game. Tanner Bybee will be on the mound for Cleveland. And then on Sunday, it's a 3:10 first pitch, and that will be Griffin on the mound for the Guardians. Then they will go to L.A. or Anaheim, and they'll take on the Angels to start the week next week. So hoping the Guards can at least get 2 out of 3 from Colorado. As I said, going into the San Francisco Giants series, would love to see them, get a sweep. They didn't. I would love to see the Guardians get a sweep against Colorado. If they get 2 out of 3, I'll be happy. If they get 3 out of 3, that will make me feel that much better. Then what I'm watching Warren Harding's place kicker, I'm going to assume this is their number 1 guy, and this guy is pounding them through 32, 34, 35 yards right now. Also, you know what I noticed? And I'll tell you what, when I drove home last night from Sandy Valley, I noticed the lights were on here at Benson. And this was like 10:30, 10:45 last night. Yeah, they must be doing some stuff with the scoreboards or whatever. And but I could see there was a couple of people. Again, I'm driving 70 miles an hour on 77, but I just happened to glance over and I could see a couple of guys on the field. Maybe they were doing some work on the field. But when I got here today, I noticed that the NFL hash marks are still on the field, as well as the high school hash marks. So we've got 4 sets of hash marks on the field now, going from goal line to goal line here at the stadium. So I don't remember that being that way in the past. Actually, there's 6 sets of hash marks, remember? Because you got them in the middle of the field, with the line of scrimmage. Then you also have them right up next to the sideline. But I don't remember it being that way here in the past. But for tonight, that's what the players will have to go with. All right, we're going to step away here. It's the Sam Bourquin Show live on AM 1310 WDPN. It's a Football Friday presented by our good friends at AWP Safety. We'll take a break. We'll come back. And we'll start to wrap up the show on 1310 WDPN. Stay with us, everybody. More to come.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? SafeStep walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-498-2098 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-498-2098 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-498-2098 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
High school football brought to you by the Sarshone Auto Group returns to AM 1310 WDPN this Friday night. And we've got a great matchup for you as the Alliance Aviators travel to Canal Fulton to take on the Northwest Indians. Pre-game starts at 6:30 and kickoff is at 7. And you can also listen to the games all season long on the AM 1310 Facebook and X pages, as well as the Q92 YouTube channel. Join Derek Dimmitt and myself, Christian Bigglesworth, as we bring you high school football action all season long. But it kicks off Friday night at 7, Alliance and Northwest, live right here on AM 1310 WDPN.
Hey, Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy. I'm ready as I'll ever be. And might I say, your purple tie really pops with your vest.
Thanks. I almost went with a cape, but didn't want to come across as pretentious.
Nonsense. Anyone in our line of work should rock a cape.
You might be onto something, Max.
Phew, so here we go. First day on the job. We've got this, right?
Right. Don't forget, we both graduated from Dogs Inc. with honors.
Which means I can guide my human around a busy city with ease.
And I can give my human a restful night.
I hope my human is kind and loving.
And I hope mine likes wet kisses and zoomies.
Ready to make a difference?
Born ready. Let's go.
Discover how extraordinary dogs like Daisy and Max change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
It's High School Football Friday on AM 1310 WDPN. Catch all the action tonight with the RG Drag pregame show at 6:30. Join Christian Bigglesworth and Derek Dimmitt for all the action. It's the RG Drag pregame show on AM 1310 WDPN.
1310 WDPN, welcome back to the Sam Bourquin Show. All right, Rainsburg, don't look. Don't cheat. What college band was that? What college football song was that?
I'm sorry, it's Georgia. I have to read it to put it in. So I can't not know what it is.
I was right, too. Sometimes I slip up on those a little bit, but I wanted to make sure that I still got my good college football marching band ears over the years. We are going to be with you till 6 o'clock here. We'll be back around 6:30 or so on Q92. We may be a little bit late over there tonight. Maybe just a couple of minutes. I don't think our guy Beatty is going to get here till.
No, I think
we're all going to be. I think it's already going to be starting before he gets here. Yeah.
We're definitely going to run that game preview roundup first tonight.
for sure. For sure. We got Camp McKinley, Warren Harding tonight, Q92, Q92radiosports.com. Check us out. Ton of games tonight on the Q92 Sports Network. Let me see here. All right. Looks like McKinley's going to be going with the black jerseys, red pants, black helmets tonight, which is a nice look. Now, I prefer the white helmets. That's just me. Warren Harding is actually going to be in the all gold, it looks like. Gold jerseys, pants, black helmets, white numbers and letters. So if anything changes, that'll be our uniform matchup tonight. So that'll be a nice little contrast down there on the field. McKinley, I just wanted to take a little peek at them before we sign off. Last year, the Pups were 9-3. Almost was able to move on to the next round of the playoffs. Just a heartbreaking loss to Menor. But McKinley really played well. Some of the guys you want to listen for tonight, Shad Davis, who is a defensive back. Derek Gordon, not big, about 5'5", 5'6", 150, 160, but he's very good. Darius Hill, one of the best wide receivers in the state of Ohio. Legacy Lee, we talked about Legacy Lee yesterday. You watched him play basketball for Coach Spoon this past year. Legacy is 6'4", 225. He'll play tight end. He'll play on the defensive line as well. Desmond Parnell, all right? Last name sound familiar? Parnell. Real nice running back, defensive back, 6 feet. He's about 200 pounds. He's only a sophomore. Kylan West is really, really talented. He ran for over 1,500 yards last year. He's a stud. Darius Hill, I told you, a stud. Antonio Stevens at middle linebacker. Keep your ears and eyes on him. I think McKinley, here's the deal. It's all about Braylon Crook, the quarterback. 5'9", about 170 pounds. And he's taken over now. And he just has to kind of learn on the fly. We talked to Renzi Parnell yesterday. He's got to work on his poise. He's got to kind of slow the game down a little bit for himself. So that's what we'll be watching here early is the quarterback play of McKinley. Look, the weapons are there. The wide receivers are there. The running backs are there. The tight end is there. But the quarterback, that's what they're going to have to work through. And going up against a Warren Harding team tonight that, they got some kids. They're going to be ready to play. They're going to be coming after them. So then that would say what? The McKinley offensive line needs to have a nice ball game tonight. Asa Birch, that's the young man that we will be following for Warren Harding tonight. Asa is just he's a stud. He really is. I don't know where he's going to go to school. He's got offers from the East Coast to the West Coast, from the North to the South. He can pretty much go wherever he wants to go. Asa Birch. Does that name sound familiar? Birch? Yeah, they've had a few come through the halls over there at Warren Harding. So we're looking forward to that. James Jones, he threw for a pretty good amount of yardage last year. So he's going to take the reins at the quarterback. Mekhi Brogdon, pretty good running back. They'll be looking for him. Asa Birch can do it on both sides of the ball. It should be fun tonight. Q92, McKinley, and Warren Harding. We got a ton of games for you tonight. Make sure you're all in, you're logged in, you're watching, you're listening, you're interacting. Q92radiosports.com, the YouTube channel. We're ready to go. I know I'm ready for a break. I've been yakking for 3 hours. Time for me to shut up for a little bit. Thanks for Rainsburg. Great job, as always, back at the studios at 1310. Thanks to everybody for commenting and calling and participating in the show. We love the interaction. Thanks to Drew Sarackman for stopping by today. Thanks to Ryan Isley, Cleveland.com, for coming on today. And we'll be ready to go here, all right? Keep it here at 1310 if you want to listen to Christian and Alliance and Northwest. If you want the Pups and the Raiders, click on over to 92.5 FM Q92. Sam Bourquin saying so long for now. Enjoy the high school football tonight coming up, everybody.